Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome in, OTB. The weekend is here, boys. It is Thursday. Let's go. What a Thursday it is. T-Bob Hebert, Jacob Hester, Danny Cardenas, Matthew Musso with you in studio this morning. Myself and Jake fresh off of the Taft Coaches Caravan last night. A lot of moving parts in that show. Jake, you killed it last night. It was a lot of fun. Thank you to Taft. Thank you to all the coaches, Scott Woodward, everybody who came out last night. It was a great time.
That was a lot of fun because, as I kept saying over the broadcast, and I hope it came over natural because it was natural, we didn't have enough time with these guys.
Yeah.
We were talking with all of these coaches, and we were like, can we get a couple more minutes? Like 12 minutes isn't enough, and that's always a good thing. The energy level from that coaching staff, I hope people were able to watch on Facebook last night through Taft's Facebook, because it was something where they were glad to be there. They had an energy to them, and they were excited to talk about LSU football.
Yeah, and we'll break down kind of what our biggest thoughts were and our reactions to last night's affair. As we talked to everybody. I mean, The two new quarters, we talked to Peach, we talked to Jones, we talked to all the new coaches, Andre Carter on the line, Blake Baker for linebackers, DJ Mangus, the young gun, the crowd favorite.
He got a big cheer.
Yes, he had quite the cheering section of the people who were left when we got to him. They did make him go last, right? All the other coaches, it was seniority was in play, as some of the older guys kind of came in, did their interview, shook some hands, and then we're out of there. Mangus had to stay till the bitter end, along with me and you. But a fantastic time last night. Just thank you to Taft for putting that on. We got a big show planned for you today. As you'll see in headlines, there's a ton to talk about. It is Thursday, which means we will slide into the series with small sliders. We got Coach Pulmonary at 8:30, Coach Beth Torina at 8 a.m. getting set for their big series this weekend. At 7:30, Chef Michael Johnson answers all of your Munchies questions. And then at 9:30, we're going to talk to Rachel Barbeau, who is the perfect person to talk to in the Hush Blackwell fallout, given this is what her entire career is built on, is educating young men and women as to like how to treat each other, how to interact with one another.
And T, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe she kind of got out of our business because she was doing that on the side and she wanted to make it full time, right?
Yes, that's absolutely correct. Yeah. Changing the narrative. And you probably heard her on the show before, if you're a longtime OTB listener, because she's been coming to LSU for a few years now. So no one better to talk about what's gone on recently. Let's go ahead and dive in to some headlines brought to you by Barbecue Guys.
OTB headlines are brought to you by Barbecue Guys. They're your one-stop shop for everything outdoor kitchens and living. Barbecue Guys, helping America host better barbecues since 1998.
All right, we'll start with the New Orleans Saints news as the Saints continue to make roster moves. There's been so many at this point, I can't exactly remember what was or was not in yesterday's headlines. So we'll just start here. They've restructured Malcolm Jenkins and Andrews Pete, which I think we did mention.
We did.
But some news that was not ready yet. They've released Emmanuel Sanders as well, which is a bummer, but I get it. I think that his year, I don't think many fans were pleased with his year. I think it was kind of upset by a couple things out of his control, like right when he was coming on, the COVID positive test came up, and that ended up kind of setting him back a little bit. Altogether, it was a pretty good year, but it just wasn't enough for the money they were paying him in the tight spot that they are. So Emmanuel Sanders no longer on the Saints team.
And this isn't a slight against Emmanuel Sanders, but at his price tag, you're going to look at that every time and then look at the production of what he had a year ago and say, okay, I can get that or something close to that for much less. And so that's where the Saints are. And again, it's nothing against Emmanuel Sanders, but you don't want that much money tied up in your second, probably actually third receiver, right? So you got to go out there and get someone a little bit younger. You can get a rookie deal. That saves you a lot of money.
Well, I mean, you got Marquez Callaway, right? Undrafted free agent who really came on both in special teams and the offense. Deontay Harris continues to get better and better. it's a move that makes sense. In some good Saints news, not cutting anybody, the Saints are getting some extra draft picks. So in the NFL, if you lose more resources in free agency than you gain, you are eligible for compensatory picks, depending on what happens with those resources that you lost. Also, in order to try to increase diversity in the NFL coaching ranks, which is sorely needed, if you lose an executive or a coach and they get a big job, you are also rewarded with a compensatory pick. So the Saints actually end up with 3 additional draft picks, 2 in the 3rd round, and then they get a 6th-rounder back. Obviously, Teddy Bridgewater signing a $20 million deal, got him 1 of 3rd-round picks. A.J. Klein signing, got him the 6th. And then Terry Fontenot, going to become the Falcons GM, got him the other 3rd.
So they get 98 overall, T, and obviously that's going to be what you would hope to be a starter when you pick right there in the 3rd round. You get 106 overall in the 3rd round. Then, like you mentioned, you get a 6th-rounder, 218 overall, and the Saints needed this. Why did they need this? Because they are having to release a lot of veteran players. They need rookie contracts. You want to get 2 impact players in the 3rd round. You hope to get a starter at 98, but even if you don't, you need to get an impact player that's going to make your roster and have that minimum salary.
And we can go through some of the 3rd-round picks that they've had, but the Saints have actually been pretty fantastic in that round recently. They now have 5 picks in the first 4 rounds, 6 picks overall. Another reason why they needed, Jake, remember their original 3rd, 5th, and 6th-round picks for this year were given away in deals. And then the NFL, Goodell, took away their 7th-round pick for COVID violations. And every team did. But for whatever reason, the Saints are the only ones that got dinged for not wearing masks in post-game celebrations.
And then the Tommy Stevens was the 6th-rounder?
That was the 6th-rounder. Right. Zach Bond deal, I believe, might have been the 3rd-rounder. And I can't remember what the 5th. Quan Alexander was the 5th. Or maybe
they need Zach Bond.
I might have Bond
to step up and kind of take a role, because that's a position right now that on paper looks pretty weak.
Yep.
Right? And that's a player that had a lot of first-round grades, depending on who you look at.
It was super high on him.
First-round grade guy, and I know he had some ups and downs in his rookie season. They really need him to take over and be a starting linebacker.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's something to watch out for on the Saints front. LSU baseball, Musso. We were at Taft last night, so we did not get to watch at the corner of our eyes on the television. Shout out CST. Love seeing the off-the-bench promo on the television, though. That was very cool. Musso put in the group chat. But yeah, it's a solid midweek game for the Tigers. Not great, but solid. Got the job done over there in New Orleans.
Yeah, pretty much just what you expect for midweek baseball. There were a lot of pitchers used. Tigers got a shutout. Trey Morgan hit the ball a lot. No errors for the 2nd consecutive game. Just a good win. Move on to the weekend now.
Helmers continues to be fantastic, dude.
In his hometown.
Yeah, and Trey Morgan.
Yeah.
So Trey Morgan
and Kate Beloso
is one of Danny's boys.
Yeah, John Curtis.
Brother Martin.
John Curtis. It's New Orleans area.
Yeah. John Curtis. But yeah, either way, shout out to Helmers and Morgan, the Young Guns, going back to their city and putting on a very nice performance. They win 5-0 over Blake Dean's Privateers. Why did Baylor bail on this weekend? Do we have the details?
Yeah, so what happened, Baylor had to cancel one of their series because of COVID. The other team couldn't make it. They called LSU wanting to know if they could get in on the weekend. LSU says, of course, they were going to play 1 with LSU and 2 with UTSA as well, but then the opportunity presented itself for them to schedule a home series. Yeah. So they asked if they could back out.
If I'm not mistaken, their head coach actually tweeted out that Paul Maneri helped them get that series. Xavier, right? If I'm not mistaken.
I believe they are playing Xavier, yes.
Well, we can ask Coach Maneri about it later in the show. Good guy Maneri, helping everybody get baseball played. So because of that, Baylor, like Musso said, you're going to play Baylor once this week and UTSA twice. That has now changed, and you're going to play UTSA all 3 games. Friday and Saturday's games will be at 7 p.m. Sundays will be at 1 p.m. And, of course, you can hear it on Eagle 98.1. In New Orleans Pelicans news, it is a year to the day since the NBA shut down.
I feel like it's been so long since we've talked Pelicans.
It has. Yeah, All-Star break's a weird time, right? Kind of the doldrums. Well, get ready, because once they resume play today, Jake, it's going to get dense. How about this? Reading Christian Clark's article in The Advocate. 36 games in 67 days. So basically a game every 2 days. Actually, it's slightly above that.
Yeah.
They will play the T-Wolves tonight, Cavs tomorrow. It's one of 8 back-to-backs they'll have in the second half.
Then it gets real.
Yeah, I know.
Then it gets really real.
T-Wolves, dude. I mean,
Well, T-Wolves for the Pelicans gets real. But
that's what I'm saying. I've no faith in the Pelicans to get it done tonight, but it would be great for them to try to start this final push off on the positive foot and show that they've grown in this week. I don't know if they will. Here's where it gets awkward. We want this team to improve. Van Gundy has come out and said that basically he estimates they only have time for 11 practices the entire rest of the season because of that dense game schedule. So I don't know how this second half is going to go.
All right, so young basketball team. A lot of those guys played in the AAU circuit. So the practice deal, I don't think really affects them. They're used to playing games. They're not used to practicing. They're used to going out there and having, 6 games in a weekend or something probably even greater than that. So hopefully, that's something that can help them being a younger basketball team and they can just go out there and play games.
Yeah, Van Gundy did straight up. He was talking about how it almost feels like the AAU games over practice. So flock up, baby. Let's go. Second half. The playoff push, boys. The playoff push begins tonight. And the Smoothie King Center gets a T-Wolves. The SEC basketball tournament got underway last night. Vanderbilt getting it done, beating Texas A&M 79-68. They will advance and play Florida today at 1:30 p.m. It kicks off this morning, however, at 11 a.m. with Mississippi State at Kentucky. You got Georgia and Mizzou at 6 p.m. tonight. And then the one that LSU fans may want to watch at 8:30, South Carolina Ole Miss. Obviously, LSU will play the winner of that South Carolina Ole Miss game late tomorrow night.
So yesterday we were on SiriusXM, and it was me and Chris Childers, and we were talking about how everyone just assumes Kentucky, because now it's the SEC tournament, is all automatically just going to flip a switch, and they're going to be a good basketball team, and they're going to make this run in the tournament. And today they start things off. I think Mississippi State's going to give them hell. Ooh. So I'm looking forward to this tournament because everyone just assumes they know what's going to happen. This feels like an SEC tournament, T-Bob, that's going to go a little bit different, going to be a little bit crazy. You got what? 5, 6, 7 teams possibly that can make a run here in this SEC tournament. I mean, don't count a team like Ole Miss out, right? So
LSU,
it's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, LSU certainly in that conversation. So I'm looking forward to it. We've known Kentucky to dominate this tournament so many times before. I think they actually lose today to Mississippi State, and it's going to shake things up.
It is interesting, though, because Duke pulled that blue blood stuff last night, right? Where, like, they've been bad all year, and then they come out and they beat Louisville pretty handily by games in. LSU softball news. We'll talk to Coach Bettorina at 8 a.m. as they get prepared to travel to Knoxville this weekend. 3-game series against the 22nd-ranked Volunteers. 5 p.m. on Friday, noon on Saturday, and noon on Sunday. In LSU golf news, congratulations to LSU women's golfer Ingrid Lindbald, who's been SEC Newcomer of the Week after finishing 3rd place out of 96 players of the Gamecock Intercollegiate in Columbia. It is her 3rd top 5 finish of the season. How about this? In LSU track and field, 4 members of the track and field team honored: Javon Harrison, Terrence Laird, Monique Hardy, and Sean Dixon Bodie. Harrison named Men's Field Athlete of the Year. Laird named Men's Runner of the Year. Hardy named Women's Freshman Field Athlete of the Year. And Dixon Bodie named Men's Freshman Field Athlete of the Year. So you get the higher ups and the younger awards there. And if you want to wet your whistle, Olympics are coming up this summer. You're going to wet your whistle with some track and field this weekend? How about this? LSU track and the 2021 NCAA Indoor Championships begin on Thursday. So that is today. It's a 3-day meet. LSU enters the meet ranked number 2 in the men's ranking, number 6 in the women's ranking. And you can find the action on Watch ESPN. And finally, shout out to LSU swimmers Brooks Curry and Mitch Mason as they have qualified for the 2021 men's NCAA championships.
You lost me after Dixon Bodie. That's a solid name.
It's a hell of a name.
That's a really good name.
It's a hell of a name. Shout out to Sean Dixon Bodie, your men's freshman field athlete of the year.
I mean, track and field, I don't want to say quietly, they've done it so many times in the past, but they're having one of their better years. I mean, every time we do headlines, there's something that track and field has done, an award, a meet, something that they've done that's been positive. So shout out to everyone involved there.
There you go. When we get back, we're talking Coach's Caravan. What did me and Jake learn? Talking to all the new faces in that LSU coaching staff. Keep it locked right here on CST youtube.com/1045ESPN, or wherever you're listening on the radio.
OTB headlines are presented daily by Barbecue Guys. Remember, the most popular grill on the market is Blaze Grills. Premium gas grills that combine expert engineering and dependable performance. All backed by a best-in-class lifetime warranty. Visit barbecueguys.com or our local showroom to learn more about Blaze Grills. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Hey now. You're an all-star.
Hey.
Toyota of Baton Rouge.
Hey.
Go buy a car. We need to workshop it.
Yep.
But there's something there. And there's everything there at All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge if you're looking to purchase a new vehicle. Doesn't matter what your family needs may be. Maybe you want to hop in the minivan like I did. If you're too insecure like Jake, you can get in the 4Runner.
Or Sequoia.
So there's Sequoia. Fits all of the kids. But so that's the point, right? They can find whatever your wants and needs are.
Don't forget also they've got multiple trucks. They've got multiple SUVs. So not just one option, right? There's some places they only have one option. No, they've got multiple of everything to make sure that your needs are exactly met. I've driven the Tundra. I've had a Tacoma. They're amazing trucks, and depending on what size truck you want, they've got you covered. They've got everyone covered.
Yeah, and you know those Toyotas stand the test of time, man. Them Tundras are nice, bro. You want a big old truck? Trust the Japanese. That's what I always say. AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com. Go there today.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Service Master. Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR presented by Pluckers. We'll recap LSU, Texas Southern, and baseball. Get you ready for the Tigers' trip to UNO. It's a Whiskey Wednesday with Taylor Calandro. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. T-Bob Jake hanging out this morning along with Danny and Miss. We got Chef Michael Johnson coming up at 7:30 if you want to get your munchies questions in. But Jake, let's go ahead and dive into last night as we get to talk to all of these new coaches. And what stood out to me more so than anything, and we'll get into more of the minutia, but there were a couple of themes that developed, right? I loved all the talk on competition. I loved all the talk on players first, scheme second, like establishing these relationships, understanding what you have. But I also love something that wasn't maybe spoken out loud, but you could feel, and that was just the energy among that crew, right? I mean, there's the vibes compared to last year are completely different.
No, they couldn't be any different in my opinion. And every coach that sat down, man, he had an energy about him. He had a focus about him. He was ready to talk about his team. And we hadn't really had the opportunity to talk with every coach, but even the ones we didn't talk with here on this show, like Blake Baker. Like Blake Baker, you could tell like he was ready to get to work with these linebackers because not even being here, you can tell that last year bothered him.
Yep.
Like him turning on the film and knowing the players that he has, it bothered him that they weren't able to go out there and show their talents because of the scheme and because of the communication and all those type of things. And so it was a real eagerness to get started and get going on the field.
Well, and we talked about it with Coach Baker last night in that, I mean, if we're just being frank, the linebacker play last year was the most passive linebacker play I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
I mean, catching guys 5 yards deep. And then there's a ripple effect, Jake. Like when the linebacker's not forcing the running back or the lead blockers into any sort of decision points, then how do the safeties run fit, right? Because all of a sudden the backs have you would love a linebacker that would chill 5 yards back and open up that kind of space.
Well, I win every time. If a linebacker would sit back there and not meet me, not at the line of scrimmage, but try to meet me in the backfield, I'm going to win every time because all I have to do as a lead blocker is get a hand on you. If you're 5 yards back, I can touch you with one hand in your shoulder pad and you're beat. Like you're already done. So you don't even have to do anything extraordinary to beat me.
And so that happened constantly last season, and that's why I thought it was very refreshing to hear Coach Baker talk about some of the core the core things that they're working on is just refinding that aggression.
I almost
and if
felt
you're
like
going to
his
make a
jaw,
mistake,
he
did tip up a little bit when
I
called
in a good
it.
way. He's like, hey, oh, don't worry, there's going to be some differences.
Yeah, like that ain't gonna be like that this year.
Yeah.
And what I really like there is he said, I don't want my players to be afraid to make a mistake. And I've been in a situation where I was one mistake away from getting pulled. And then sure enough, you make a mistake and you get pulled. That's a horrible place to be at a player. It causes you to second guess yourself a lot.
Try to be perfect.
Yeah, you try to be perfect. And really, you need a little rope to work with.
Yeah.
And he said, I don't want my players to be afraid to make a mistake. They just better make it going like 100 miles an hour and being hyper aggressive. And so I completely agree with that philosophy. And since we're on Coach Baker, I thought it was pretty encouraging that he did highlight Damone Clark, too, as the guy in that room. And it makes sense. I mean, not only he has a ton of experience, but like physically, he has all of the tools. I think he just needed a bit better guidance in terms of how to apply those tools, and hopefully this staff can give it to him.
He was put probably in the worst situation last year because we've seen what he can do, not only in early in his career, but we've seen it throughout his career, like what he can do, who he can be. I mean, 2019, he was a player on that team. He wasn't like a special teams guy. He was a guy that played a lot of football in 2019, okay? So you've got to get that because we know it's there, and you've got to translate that to 2021. You've got to put him in better positions to succeed because, like you mentioned, he can cover you out of the backfield. He can fit runs. I mean, he can rush the passer if he has to. We've seen him line up on the edge.
Ooh, bro, the play that stands out with me is SEC championship against Georgia. He lined up as a 3-tech and bull rushed the guard and sacked who's playing
Jake Fromm.
Jake Fromm. I mean, that's wild.
Although Stetson Bennett, the 12th, did get in the game for a couple plays.
That's right, I forgot. All right, then, Jake, so that's just something that stood out to me. What's something that stood out to you last night?
I love DJ Mangus. DJ Mangus is someone we know here. Like, that's someone that we've seen on the staff before, but I loved his answers. I loved, we asked him about knowing the players. I think I asked him like, hey, you've got a book on some of these guys, right? You were here in 2019. You know Miles Brennan. You know the offensive line. He said, yeah, I do, and that helps. He said, but the last thing I want to do is come in and think of them in that light. I want to start over. I want to start over with these guys, a clean slate, because they've changed, they've grown, they're different than they were in 2019. So I don't want to assume anything with anybody I already know. I want them to prove it to me again. And to me, I'm thinking, oh, you know this guy. You know what he's capable of. He's like, yeah, I do, but they've changed. I've changed. We've got to grow together, and I thought that was really good.
I remain a massive Durante Jones fanboy. I think
you were geeking out on him a little bit last night.
I was like legitimately fanboying on him last night. Like the same feelings I've gotten when I saw like Jason Momoa at Comic-Con or something. Like I think I freaked him out a little bit. But I just love this cat's energy. I love his measured approach where when he's answering these questions, he's not giving you run-of-the-mill stuff. You can see him really thinking about it. And with how he delivers these messages, I can just understand the type of teacher that he is and why that is one of his great strengths. And I loved how he approached, the tradition of DBU and what it means to kind of assume that mantle and be the leader of this defense, and how he's approaching each and every individual and using the lessons that he learned at Franklin and Jeanneret in terms of, customizing your teaching approach so that it tries to encompass all the different learning styles, whether you're like a kinetic learner, an audio learner, a visual learner, having lesson plans, all of these things. And then so he has all of this intellectual prowess, but then he combines it with that attitude that we didn't get to last night, but we heard in that original press conference. We want to be as violent as possible in everything we do. And whether it was him saying that, or maybe the line of the night from Pete's last night, which, what was it? We want to be their nightmare, our dream. Do we have that? Here's what Jake Peetz had to say as well.
What we want to do is we want to create opportunities for guys to get on the field and show what they do best.
Yeah.
And what we talk about is we want to create a nightmare. Yeah. So their nightmare, our dream.
So between we want to be as violent as possible in everything we do, and we want to be their nightmare, our dream, I love the aggressive energy that you're getting both out of Pete Dominguez. But it's not like a I'm going to MF you to death aggressive energy. It's an intelligent aggressive energy, which is the best kind in my opinion.
I already was excited about Jake Peetz. I really was. But last night, I think that went up about 6 notches for me. He was one of those guys that every time you said something, I mean, he was locked in, and he kept almost inching in his seat because he was so ready to talk about it or get it going. And I can't wait to see them on the field. I mentioned I went out to football school. He was the guy I noticed more than anybody else on the field. I mean, he was getting after everybody. And like you said, not in a I'm going to MF you, I'm going to slam you down, but just motivated. Here we go. This is what we've got to do. And I loved how he talked about last night. We're going to get the 5 best guys on the field. Because we were joking about it, fullbacks and tight ends and all these different positions. He goes, look, we'll have pony personnel, and pony personnel is 2 backs, 3 receivers, no tight ends. Yeah. He's like, if that's the best formation for us in that moment, we are going to do it. Everything is out there on the table. We talked about 2019 when LSU used the back lined up out wide and empty so many times. LSU, if I'm not mistaken, I'll go back and check the notes, they were in empty more than any other team in 2019. They had more 5-man protections than anybody in 2019, okay? They had running backs that could do it. That's the challenge for TDP, for John Emery, for these young running backs. Hey, 2-man, 3-man route combinations, Clyde was pretty damn good doing that, right? You've got to get to that point because that was something we used, and if you want to be one of the 5 best on the field, you've got to do everything in his offense.
So I like what you said there, the 5 best, because that's something that Pete's been so clear about. The 5 best will play. It's like basketball. I don't care what your position is, the 5 best will play. Is it 4 receivers, 1 back, tight end back, 3 receivers, 2 receivers, 2 backs, tight end, whatever combination that is, the 5 best will play. And as a player, that gives you a very clear goal. That lets everybody know where they stand in that hierarchy and what you have to do if you want to find that field. So a really fantastic. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Hey, real quick, Moose, can we play Pete's 5 because we asked him about the LSU quarterback room, and I want to play it and then we'll react to it as well.
It's been great. You look at the men we have in this room, great young men. You know, you look from eldest down to youngest, Miles Brennan. Look at the experiences that he's had here. Grew up wanting to play here at LSU. Yeah. He's learned from some great coaches, great players, seen a lot of things, and he's doing an outstanding job leading. And then you look at Max Johnson and TJ Finley coming in that class. And Max, how great did he close the season out? You know what I mean? Yeah. Did a great job in leading. And you look at TJ Finley, look at what he did. That kid has a lot of talent. Yeah. We've been working on the lower half with all these guys. And I'll tell you what, when these guys, their lower half is sound, they can put the ball wherever they want it. And those are two great young men. And Garrett Nussmeier coming in as a freshman is really hungry.
Oh, man, there's so much breakdown there. I wanted to talk to him about the lower half because more and more it seems like we're realizing that footwork is what actually creates accuracy from the quarterback position as both Josh Allen and Joe Burrow worked with, I think it's Jordan Palmer, Carson Palmer's little brother. Like, they had these massive, accurate leaps in the offseason, and they both credit that footwork work. And here is Pete's alluding to that as well.
Real quick, I do know we need to take a break, but I'll take a look at the two quarterbacks I played with in the NFL, Phillip and Peyton. All right, neither one of those guys is going to beat maybe anybody in this room in a foot race, okay? We understand that. But their feet work in the pocket was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Right? The things they were able to do to get their body in a position to get the throw off. Like, that's what's important. Like, everybody's like, oh, this quarterback ran a 4.6. I don't care if he's not good in the pocket. If his feet aren't good in the pocket, I don't care how fast he is because he's going to throw from a bad angle. Yep. We go back and we always go to, the 3rd and 17 against Texas for LSU, okay? Look at Joe's footwork in the pocket during that moment. It wasn't because he was athletic he got that throw off. It's because he knew exactly where to step, and how to square his shoulders to get the throw off. And those things are so important, and that's really an NFL mindset. And Jake Pete's coming from the NFL. Like, that's something you can tell that he's learned on that level that he wants to bring to LSU, because it doesn't matter how talented your arm is. If your feet are tangled up and you're trying to throw across your body, it's going to get intercepted or be incomplete. So you've got to get your footwork in the right position. And I'm not surprised that, coming from the NFL, that's his mentality.
So obviously, me and Jake could do a 3-hour show breaking this all down last night. We do have to go to break. We will revisit a lot of this sound in the 3rd hour of today's show and break it down in depth. So stick around for that. Coming up next, get your Munchies questions into the Bayou Forum YouTube chat. We got Chef Michael Johnson.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to DonaldsvilleGlassandBody.com today, DonaldsvilleGlassandBody.com for all of your vehicular needs. Also, remember, if you are an experienced automotive glass tech, okay, if you're an experienced automotive glass tech, Donaldsville Glass and Body wants you. You want industry-leading pay, health insurance, 401k, pay holidays, vacation, sick pay, possible signing bonus depending on qualifications. Get your resume into Donaldsville Glass and Body right now.
Donaldsville Glass and Body, I've told you all this, but yet again, I talked to him yesterday. It's like, hey, we took care of all the issues that your car was having. It also looks like you do need an oil change. You've got some lights on your dashboard. You got your airbag light on.
Okay,
but again, like, he's like, hey, do you want us to fix it or do you want us to leave you alone? Because they don't want to fix it and just assume you're going to pay for it. They're transparent in what they're doing to get your vehicle back to you.
Transparency, trust, some of the core values of Donaldsville Glass and Body, DonaldsvilleGlassandBody.com.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I'm feeling good. So good. I just thought you should know.
Bayou Ford is open for business, and we want to earn your business. Stop in and see our selection of the latest Ford cars and trucks, as well as a variety of quality pre-owned vehicles, with prices starting as low as $5,000. Bayou Ford will get you the transparent information you're looking for, and when you're ready to purchase your new vehicle, provide the professional service you deserve. Located off I-10 on Belterre Boulevard in LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At front to back, they got not one, but two NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to front to back boat service.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Cool on that.
The moment you realize something is truly luxury is the moment you put it to use. Purchase or lease a new Infiniti QX80 online today with Infiniti Now.
Visit Infiniti of Baton Rouge at 13540 Airline Highway or online at InfinityBR.com.
Sports wouldn't be the same without the die-hard fans. That's why we're highlighting the fans that do the most. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge brings you the Citizens Bank.
Join us for a Thursday edition of Jimmy Yacht's Game Time, live from Joe Lee Pearl Oyster Bar as Charles Hannegriff is in the co-host. Tune in at 6 p.m. as we talk some more March Madness and get ready for the sports weekend. Game Time on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger. Chef Michael Johnson is back on OTB, brought to you by Barbecue Guys. Barbecue Guys is your one-stop shop for everything outdoor kitchens and living. Send your questions into the Bayou Ford YouTube chat using the hashtag Munchies.
Shout out Todd Jones in the chat. Munchies question MVP today. Todd giving us a lot of questions to ask our man, LSU executive chef Michael Johnson. Chef MJ, what's up, man? What's going on?
Morning, guys. How are y'all?
Did you ever wear gold cleats back in the day?
No, but I sure have been asked that question quite a bit.
Yeah, I guess you have.
I get it.
Hashtag Munchies. What is this week's pork belly dish?
Oh, man, that's tough. I guess, I haven't really put too much thought into it. It's kind of just one of those momentary things where if I get the desire, I'm going to throw it together. But I think my favorite pork belly dish is like a Thai or a Korean pork belly where you braise it first and then kind of fry it a little bit in some fat and that's my favorite way.
You're going to cause Jake to have a breakdown. He's in a 28-day fast right now, and he was just talking about how he's shaking. He's so hungry already.
Thanks, Chef. I appreciate it. I'm on day like 13.
Stay strong, brother. Stay strong.
Thank you.
Hashtag Munchies. How should I cook a rabbit?
A rabbit?
Yeah.
One of my favorite ways is like you preserve it down in its own fat, and so you stew it, and then you pack it into these little like tins or crocks or whatever, and rabbit fat doesn't taste that good, so you usually use pork fat. And you pack it down in there and preserve it in its own fat. Rabbit's kind of gamey, so you really want to take your time with stewing it. Some people will soak it like in milk or something like that to pull some of the game out of it. But yeah.
All right, this one's just straight for me because I'm curious. You're talking rabbit. I don't know why my head went to frog legs. Which way do you prepare frog legs? Love frog legs, by the way.
I do like frog legs. I kind of prepare it like chicken, you know. And it is one of those things that because it's gamey and it comes from dirty water. I will soak it in some milk ahead of time to pull some of the game out of it. But I just like them deep fried, really.
Hashtag munchies. If your belly was a pork belly, would you eat yourself?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Maybe just try a little nibble. Huh?
Yeah, just cut off what you can still survive. I mean, there you go, dude. Hashtag munchies. Ooh, how's this for bougie? What type and where do I buy the snails for at-home escargot?
Bougie.
So you're looking for helix snails. It's a French type of snail, and I don't know. I don't have any brands off the top of my head, but you're looking for a helix snail.
Okay.
And, you know, it's interesting because the process of these snails is they put them in a box because what they eat by nature is poisonous to human beings. So you have to put them in a box, and they fast for several days before they pass through everything that's toxic, and then they're ready to be prepared.
Man, so I could eat you right now, Jake.
All right,
those toxins are out of you.
Yeah, sure. Let's move on from that one. Hashtag munchies. What veggies and fruit do you put in your crawfish boil?
Oh yeah.
So it depends on whose houses I'm at
Okay.
really, because my brother loves different things. But if I'm at my house, you know, it's corn, potatoes. I like mushrooms. I like whole cloves garlic, and
Yes.
I'll eat that whole clove garlic like butter.
Yes.
I'm pretty standard with it. My brother likes to put like peppers and stuff in there, which I don't have a problem with. I just I don't do it myself.
Garlic is the best fixin'. I mean,
Absolutely.
like you said, you can just eat that thing straight up out of the way. It tastes amazing.
Yeah.
Hashtag munchies. Do you use liquid smoke, and on what? I don't think I know what liquid smoke is.
No, I don't usually use liquid smoke. I do have some in my kitchen for oh crap moments, but it's basically it's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah.
It is a dark liquid, and I'm not exactly sure where they get it produced from, but I think it's produced from like a saturation of smoky materials that they rinse down or something. I'm not sure, but the liquid literally tastes and smells like smoke.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's to like give like an artificial kind of smoke
Yeah, it's like a
flavoring to it.
marinade.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
right,
Weird.
right.
Weird.
Right.
All right. Hashtag munchies. Got any tips for healthy meal planning for two?
For two,
Yeah.
you know, I don't really meal plan, guys. To be honest with you, it's just not something that I do. My I guess do your research and make sure that what both of you are trying to accomplish is the same thing. You know, different body types require different meal preps. Yeah.
I just love that you have the skill set where you're like, I just want a little delicious braised pork belly tonight. I'm just gonna make that randomly. Hashtag munchies. Is Valentina's a hot sauce or a picante salsa?
Probably picante salsa. Are you asking me what it is, or are you asking me which one?
I'm just reading the question here, Chef. I've actually still never had Valentina's, but when we did our hot sauce tier list, people loved it and like demanded that it be number one.
Yeah, I remember that. I've never actually had the hot sauce before, but if you're asking me if I'm a fan of hot sauce or picante salsa, I'm probably going to go with the picante salsa.
I've got a question from our secret source. Hashtag munchies. What is a better learning environment for young chefs? Technically sound, a my way or the highway chef, or an inclusive kitchen where all ideas are welcome?
Gosh, you know, I'm gonna start with trying to be an inclusive kitchen because I think that's the way that things should be, and if things don't go well, it's going to be my way or the highway.
I mean, yeah. There's only so much rope. I mean, there's only so much runway before you got to step in and fly the plane.
That's right.
That's right.
All right. Hashtag munchies. Have you ever had vanilla ice cream with fresh raspberries and raspberry balsamic vinegar?
No, but I would try that for sure.
I'm
an absolute fan of balsamic vinegar in all shapes and forms.
Yes.
And I like the sweetness and the tartness of it, so I will definitely say I would give that a try.
Ooh, I like this, dude. Hashtag munchies. What is the secret to making a gourmet PB&J sandwich?
Oof.
I think probably, you know, the bread. You got to start with the right bread, and there's so many artisan breads out there that you could build off of instead of Mama's white bread.
That's right.
And I guess you could probably make your own jam or jelly and put some spices in there. Like for me, if I want something sweet, I want something a little spicy with it too, like a pickled jalapeno or something. And the peanut butter needs to be rich and crunchy. I don't like smooth peanut butter. I like crunchy peanut butter.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I want to
open
ask
up a can of worms there.
Yeah, I want to ask. Yeah, you did. There's going to be some people that are mad online. Let me ask you this: peanut butter and jelly, or peanut butter, banana, and honey?
Banana and honey.
Yeah.
Danny got hype.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, you all are all answering peanut butter, banana,
Yes.
honey? Okay, wow.
Yes. I'll throw some bacon on there, too.
Dude. A little sweet and savory. All right, Chef, last one here. Hashtag Munchies. It's National Johnny Appleseed Day. What's the best way to use apples in cooking? Apple pie, cobbler, baked apples, etc.
I didn't really hear anything that I didn't like right there. To be honest. Yeah. We used to make this little apple tart tatin that's kind of nice and light and fluffy, but I can't think of anything that I don't like apples in.
One of my chef buddies I follow online, my guy Craig Granger, is making some like smoked apples as a little side dish the other day. What happens to an apple when you smoke it?
Well, I mean, just like anything, assuming you're hot smoking it. If you're cold smoking it, it's just absorbing some of the smoke in, right? So a cold smoke happens below 100 degrees, and a hot smoke happens above it. And when it's above it, you're cooking it, right? And during the cooking process, you're going to dehydrate it a little bit, depending on how long you smoke it for. So, I guess it depends on what you're trying to accomplish with the apple, of which way you're going to go with it. If you still want some crunch and crisp in your apple, cold smoke. If you're looking to stew it down and put it into a syrup or something, I don't imagine that cooking it, a little bit is going to harm it too much. So.
All right, last one from me, Chef. Hashtag Munchies. Why are my from scratch sugar cookies hard and not sweet enough?
May not have enough butter in them or enough fat. May be cooking them too long. There's a lot of variations in there that could be going on. Some people will take the temperature of the baking, the suggested baking temperature.
Right.
So the suggested baking temperature is typically on a conventional oven, and a lot of people use a conventional oven at home, not realizing that's going to raise the temperature up.
Right.
It's like 50 to 25 to 50 degrees, depending on how good your oven is, and that can prematurely cook your cookies and dry them out and leave them crunchy. Also, if you leave them out at air, like I like to cover my cookies up after I've baked them,
yeah,
air will continue to dry them out. Yeah.
Chef Michael Johnson, the legend, LSU executive chef. Chef, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Not at all, guys. Take care.
Thanks, Chef.
Every Thursday, answering your Munchies questions. Breaking news: we had in a break. Saints are releasing Janoris Jenkins. Yeah. We'll talk about it more next here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to AdvantaCleanBR.com today. AdvantaClean. You keep hearing me talk about AdvantaClean, and they deal with life's toughest problems. Right? So you got fire damage, mold damage, water damage. You want AdvantaClean because they need to be your first call. They're open 24/7, 369, 5228. Not only do they fix the actual problem, right? So that they come in and they fix the damage, but they document it all, Jake, and they deal with the insurance company. So you don't deal with anything. You just call them and your problems are solved.
Which, as you know, T, when you have a problem like that, the tendency is to panic a little bit, right? What do I do? Oh my gosh, I cannot fix this. It is doomsday. Allow them to fix that, right? Because they're going to come in, they're going to make sure everything is done the right way. They're going to take that stress away from you. And we tell you every single day, if you've got a business, have a plan in place that if that happens to you, you know exactly what to expect from AdvantaClean.
Yeah, so like Jake's talking about, don't wait till disaster. Get them out there early to put a plan in. Go to AdvantaCleanBR.com, 369-5228.
We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
Jolie Pearl has the best oysters in Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
$14,000. Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR presented by Pluckers. We'll recap LSU Texas Southern in baseball, get you ready for the Tigers' trip to UNO. It's a Whiskey Wednesday with Taylor Calandro. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Sorry for a short segment here. Having so much fun with Chef Johnson. Headlines, talking about last night's Coaches Caravan. So we are going to be a couple minutes here until we get back. We got a big hour two, sliding in the series, small sliders. So we got Paul Maneri, Coach Beth Torina. Coach Beth Torina will kick it off at 8. Coach Maneri at 8:15, breaking down a couple of midweek games. And Rachel Barbaro coming in the last hour. We're still going to revisit a lot of the sound from last night in that last hour and really get into some kind of dense LSU football talk. But real quick, Jake, the Saints releasing Janoris Jenkins. How do you feel about it?
We all kind of saw this one coming.
I don't know if I did. I mean, I knew it was possible, but I didn't know if they were going to try to do everything they could to keep him, given the value of a 1-2 corner combination like Lattimore and Jenkins.
Yeah, I understand. But look, we knew there was going to be tough decisions. We knew there was going to be good players that were released from the Saints. And anytime you talk about, your veteran players and their salary and where it's at, unfortunately, that's what the NFL is. And I wonder how much getting yesterday's picks played into this. Like, hey, can we get a corner at 98? Hey, can we spend this pick on a corner because now we have the 98th pick? And so, I would assume that getting 2 comp picks, both in the 3rd round, makes some of these decisions a little bit easier for the Saints. Because I truly think when you're drafting in the 3rd round, you're thinking you're going to get either a starter or someone that can help you right away.
I guess it's just, Janoris was really good. And he was somebody that you could trust one-on-one. And him and Lattimore on the edges were one of the better corner combinations in the entire league. And look, a lot of Saints fans know what it's like to go through the dark times of not having corners, sometimes not having any corners, but even only having one corner. I didn't have all of the feelings a lot of Saints fans did, but Saints fans hated Eli Apple. And Eli Apple wasn't terrible. He just wasn't great, right? He wasn't good. Janoris Jenkins was. And so I'll be fascinated to see how they look to fill that void. I think P-Rob is still on the team right now. He's not been cut or anything. P.J. Williams, maybe they like some of the other young names they have coming up. I'm not entirely sure, but Jackrabbit out in a New Orleans Saints uniform. The hits keep coming for the Saints. But, hey, you keep Marcus Williams, you got to give some up, right? Just way the road, bubs. Hour 1 of the books. Hour 2 coming up next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Ochsner.org today. Ochsner.org, again, earlier this week was so just overwhelmed with positive emotion to be a part of the celebrating of the 10,000th COVID patient that the Ochsner system has released. 10,000 people that they have reunited with their families. Thank you to everyone at Ochsner, top to bottom, who has made that a reality and saved so many lives. It was an incredible moment. But look, when you talk about Ochsner, it doesn't matter if you're on the North Shore, Baton Rouge, New Orleans. You want to just get healthy, right? You want to maximize yourself. Let Ochsner be your guide. Maybe it is. Maybe you do need a surgery to fix something. Well, that's great. The OR, the physical therapy facilities, are the best in the country. Maybe you can explore some of the cutting-edge non-surgical techniques. Either way, the bottom line is they will maximize your lifestyle. So go to Ochsner.org today. Maximize your health. Ochsner.org.
Bayou Ford is open for business, and we want to earn your business. Stop in and see our selection of the latest Ford cars and trucks, as well as a variety of quality pre-owned vehicles, with prices starting as low as $5,000. Bayou Ford will get you the transparent information you're looking for, and when you're ready to purchase your new vehicle, provide the professional service you deserve. Located off I-10 on Belterre Boulevard in LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Thursday, March the 11th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 82.
Coming up in hour number 2, LSU head softball coach Beth Torina joins the show next. LSU head baseball coach Paul Maneri stops by at 8:30, and Rachel Barbeau joins the show at 9:30. Follow today on Twitter and Instagram at OTB_ESPN. You can watch live at the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel or on Cox Sports Television. Interact inside the Bayou Ford YouTube chat. Hour number 2 of OTB starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo. What's up, y'all? Welcome in. It is now time to slide into the series brought to you by Small Sliders. God, I love Small Sliders. They're really good, actually.
They look like regular size hamburgers in your hands.
Well, now you're just being hurtful.
They are sliders and they're delicious.
That's fair, but they do fit very comfortably. I'm not gonna lie. Now let's go to a coach who probably doesn't want her athletes, like any coaches, eating too many sliders, but they are delicious. Let's go to Coach Beth Torina. Coach Torina, what's going on? Congratulations on a hell of a weekend last weekend.
Thank you. It was awesome. My children eat too many sliders, but let's keep the Tigers under there.
Yeah.
But it was awesome. It really was. I loved our team fight. We got so many clutch performances. Our kids did so many cool things. So it was a great weekend.
So we had the pleasure to talk to Aaliyah on Monday, who was just an ass kicker. I mean, her talking about how her why is wanting to be a role model for these young women out there. And now as a father of 2 daughters, like, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. She was fantastic, but listening to her kind of explain that locker room with the Friday night delay and then the disappointing Saturday morning finish, and then how the team came together and rallied, like how what happened? Did you feel something click? How did this team manage to carry the momentum into that final doubleheader, given the very odd nature of how that first game played out?
Yeah, we were really one pitch away from getting out of that inning when we came back. You know, I mean, we had 2 outs and 2 strikes, and the kid did a good job, good piece of hitting. So we were so close to being, you know, right there in that first game too. So I think everybody saw that and understood that. And, you know, we just want to defend Tiger Park. It's a big part of it too. We had a really nice crowd, and it's our home field. We want to make it a tough place to play. So it's a pride thing. You don't come to Tiger Park and just walk out of there without some bumps and bruises and a pretty good fight.
And we've talked, Coach, about the schedule y'all have had, and we'll get to it a little bit more here in a second about the top 10 teams. But just, have you ever played more than 2 games? I mean, you had some lanyard, 2+ games the other day. I mean, have you ever done that in your career?
We've had some crazy things. We were trying to remember. We had the one crazy rain delay regional where I think we sat in a game for 12 hours, had to stay at the park, and we've had some crazy ones. It's a crazy sport with some of that stuff in 56 games. But it was that I can't even explain to you guys how much I thought about this situation overnight. Runners on first and second, no outs. We had so much film, like almost 70 games of Texas. I went back every situation he'd ever coached in this situation. What could it be? I mean, I was psychotic.
It's look, I'm a big Queen Gambit fan. I love chess. It's kind of like a chess match adjourning, and then you have all night to think about the position and like, okay, how do I get through it? That's wow, what a fascinating experience. So like Jake said,
this kid had never recorded a sacrifice bunt in her entire career. I had gone back. What does she do? Bunts the first pick after all that.
Okay, there you go. So he thought about the position as well, right?
Yeah.
He's like, he had to go off meta. He's like, hey, what are they not going to expect? Wow, that is crazy. If you're listening, fans, that's the amount of minutia, thought, and effort that Coach Torina and the crew gets down with. That's why LSU softball is so successful. So you take the series against Texas, another top 10 series, and now, Coach, a couple days to breathe before the SEC grind begins. How has this early season grind, which has been just nonstop against quality opponents, how has that prepared you for what comes next?
Yeah, I think we'll be ready. And I think, we have a bunch of kids that have never even been on an SEC trip. But I think that 3-game series against Texas gives us a feel of what it's like to prepare for a 3-game series, and then I'm excited. I think when this RPI comes out here in the next week or two, I think you're going to see good things with our strength of schedule and where our team falls just from being challenged. So I think there's so many benefits to it. And then we always try to set this week up without midweek so we can kind of get back to LSU softball before we get into conference play. And I think we've had a really solid week of practice. I'm really looking forward to it this weekend.
When Aaliyah was with us on Monday, she kind of talked about, SEC play really kind of starting a new season, and you kind of look at it as, okay, now it's time to start SEC play. This is something different, and she was passing that down to the younger players. I know we did it in football, Coach. Is that something you do? You kind of pause a little bit and say, okay, we've played some great teams, but now we're in conference play. It's a different focus?
Yes, definitely. I mean, and one of the cool things, I think Lindsay said it before, after the games, it's like if you didn't have the season you wanted to have, start now. And if you did, keep it rolling. But it's an opportunity to kind of reset and be whatever you want to be all over again.
Coach, when you're talking about getting used to a 3-game series, so last weekend y'all went Gorsuch and Sari, Kilponen. Is it going to be the same lineup on the mound coming up against Tennessee this weekend?
I think that's the greatest part about our staff is it doesn't have to be. And, we can kind of hold that card in softball. So we don't let them go in the cage and get prepared for a rise ball all week, knowing that they're going to see Maribeth or whatever it might be. So we can kind of come out with whoever we want to come out with. And I think that's the card that has helped our program be more successful. It's tough to prepare for us because you really just don't know who you're going to get.
Well, and I think y'all can even take it a step further because, how many starters do you feel like, is it 5 that you feel comfortable putting in these big games on the mound?
Yeah, I really do. We have a 6th one throwing awesome, too. So, we've got some really good arms and some good kids. So, I'm looking forward to it. I think our pitching depth will carry us a long way. Hopefully the head coach can figure out how to manage them most effectively and not screw it up.
All right, so you mentioned it a little bit, Coach, but it's been since last Saturday since you've played a game. You're not playing until tomorrow. With the way y'all's schedule has been, has it felt like an eternity since you've been on a softball field?
Yeah, it's been great. Honestly, it's nice to get back to some of the, just stuff that we need to do better. Mechanical, you can play your way out of playing good in our sport. Like you can play your way out of shape. You can play your way out of playing good just because we play so many games. So it's been nice to kind of reset and get ourselves in order. And I think that's something we try to do every year before we start SEC play if we can.
So, Coach, I know you've been watching the film, obviously. What is now you got number 22 Tennessee this weekend. So again, another ranked matchup. What does Tennessee bring to bear? What's their strengths, what's their weaknesses?
They have a great pitcher, Ashley Rogers. They do so many things well. They're just a storied, successful program. But I'll tell you what they don't do well is they play that Rocky Top song, and it is my actual least favorite song in all of history.
Because it gets stuck in your head? Is it because it gets stuck in your head? Yeah.
It's so catchy, but then it's also my playing career. They play it every time they score a run. So there might have been a nightmare situation in my playing career. So if Nick Torina really wants to torture me, he knows when I come in the house, he plays that over the speakers. That's how he tortures me. So that's what they don't do well.
So when you were playing, was it just an inning or something that got away and just Rocky Top was just constantly blaring in your ears?
It might have been more than an inning. So ever since that, I've really just, wanted to run from the song, as catchy as it is,
No, I completely understand, Coach. When we were getting ready for Alabama back when I was playing, Sweet Home Alabama was the crowd music that we used if we were going to Tuscaloosa. And if I hear that song to this day, I throw something at the radio. So I completely understand. It's like a trigger moment.
I remember chilling during the SEC Championship in 2007. I'm on the LSU bench, and I'm singing Rocky Top because it just drills into your brain. It's insidious, dude. Talking to Coach Beth Torina here on Off the Bench. Okay, so very good pitching, horrible music selection. How are you approaching? Does anything change? I don't know. Does anything change when, as far as your messaging to the team now that conference play is beginning? I know you talked about kind of how the team's been talking to one another.
Yeah, I think we're just really going to attack it one game at a time a little bit better this year. I think in the past we kind of showed up and wanted to win the series. And, a conversation actually with Coach Maneri I had over the pandemic, and he kind of talked about just a little bit better one pitch, one game mentality when you're attacking a conference series. And I think that's how we're going to show up. It's just win game one. You can't, win the series without winning one game. So, of course, we want to sweep the whole thing, but we're going to really try to attack game one and have a good plan for their pitching staff, and then hopefully our pitchers and our defense we will prepare. They have a pretty diverse lineup, so a lot of different looks, and hopefully we'll be prepared for that.
Coach, last one for me, and I know this is going to be y'all's longest travel to date. What's the travel schedule now with COVID? Is it something where you'll leave today? Do you leave early tomorrow? And how much different is the travel than it was, say, last year?
Yeah, it's a little different. We leave today. We typically leave on Thursdays to play Friday, Saturday, Sunday in the past. But, we're spread out more. We got an extra bus. We've got assigned feeding. Different style of how we're feeding them. There's a lot of logistics that are going into it this year that we've never done in the past. So we spent a lot of time trying to make sure our team is staying as safe as possible.
Heck yes. Coach Beth Torina, LSU head softball coach, holding it down, one of the top teams in the nation. Another challenge this weekend. You can watch it all on SEC Network. Listen right here on Talk 107.9. Coach, thank you so much.
Y'all are awesome. Can't say thanks enough for the opportunity.
Oh, absolutely, Coach. No, thank you for coming on every Thursday. So that's sliding into the softball series. Very excited. I'm legitimately starting to watch softball now. I can't always say that I have, but these last few weeks now, I don't know if it's just talking to Coach Torina more or just I really find the makeup of this team very exciting. But I've had some really good times lately.
I tell you what, so the Moore family friends of mine from Shreveport, they are big softball supporters, and they kind of introduced me to Coach Torina and really got my love of softball going. And we've been doing it on the radio now for about 3 years, and I love it. It's an exciting game. Coach Torina's done such a fantastic job at LSU. This is one of her better teams, and we've already seen what they've gone through to get to this point. They're battle-tested, and it's only going to get better.
All right, coming up next, we will talk a little baseball with the head man, Coach Paul Maneri, coming off a couple midweek wins. So keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Go to AccuTempBR.com. Got it right today, boys. AccuTemp for all of your heating, cooling, and electrical needs. How about this? I like to always talk about the deals that AccuTemp has. So right now, if you buy a new, like a full AC install, if you need a full AC install for free, you will get a premium clean air package. This includes an air scrubber and a media cabinet. You're like, what's that, T-Bob? That's $1,800, over $1,800 in value for free on top of the install. And what it is, Jake, it is the equivalent of an industrial crew cleaning your house every 12 minutes.
And that is simply incredible. Hey, look, don't be like this room. Right? Don't have your air condition not working properly. Make sure that you have it working the right way, doing everything that it can do, doing what it's meant to do. AccuTemp can make sure that you have that and much more, T.
Yes, go to AccuTempBR.com today. The highest service to the highest degree. That's AccuTempBR.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Have you been arrested for DUI or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1111 or connect with us online at ocbrown.com.
Bayou Ford is open for business, and we want to earn your business. Stop in and see our selection of the latest Ford cars and trucks, as well as a variety of quality pre-owned vehicles, with prices starting as low as $5,000. Bayou Ford will get you the transparent information you're looking for, and when you're ready to purchase your new vehicle, provide the professional service you deserve. Located off I-10 on Belterre Boulevard in LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This isn't just another day, it's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, Trolling Motors. At Front to Back, they got not one, but 2 NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to Front to Back Boat Service.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Cool on that.
The moment you realize something is truly luxury is the moment you put it to use. Purchase or lease a new Infiniti QX80 online today with Infiniti Now.
Visit Infiniti of Baton Rouge at 13540 Airline Highway or online at infinitibr.com.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Join us for a Thursday edition of Jimmy Yacht's Game Time, live from Joe Lee Pearl Oyster Bar as Charles Hannah-Griff is in the co-host. Tune in at 6 p.m. as we talk some more March Madness and get ready for the sports weekend. Game Time on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Welcome back. A little treat if you're watching on CST or YouTube.
Having fun, are we?
I am having fun. It's a great morning. We just talked to Coach Beth Tarina. Right now, it's my pleasure to welcome in the head man.
No, T-Bob, that's at 8:30.
Oh, no, sorry. We forgot to tell you. You need to call him right now. It's at 8:15. I thought
Really
we talked about it earlier. We did talk about it earlier. Thank you. Call her now. But we didn't communicate it fully. We didn't communicate fully. Go ahead and get Coach Maneri on the phone right now.
Wow.
Yeah, it's okay. I got time filler. I got time filler here.
The baseball guy wasn't listening for the baseball coach.
For
ready for Star Wars talk?
Hey. I'm not taking the blame here. Okay.
Whoa.
Coach Tarina's my responsibility. While we're all, let's just do the Congress thing. Let's all just shift blame here. Coach Tarina's my responsibility. Jake's actually Coach Maneri. So I mean, if we're gonna blame anyone.
Yeah, and I adjusted the time. Danny knew the time was changed. Did
Yeah,
you know the time was changed?
I did know the time was changed.
Weird. There's one person in the room that didn't.
Is it somehow Danny's fault? Can we make it into Danny's fault for how badly he stung me in yesterday's show? I would enjoy if we could somehow make it Danny's fault. That would be great.
Danny's been shooting some shots at me too. So.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Hey, maybe.
He's on fire. All right, we got Coach. Now it is time to talk to the head man from LSU baseball as we slide into the series, talking about Coach Paul Maneri. Coach Maneri, fresh off a couple of midweek wins. How's it going, Coach?
Good. How are you guys this morning?
I'm doing well. It's always got to feel pretty good to get one on Blake Dean, huh, Coach?
Well, I don't know about getting it on Blake. I'm kind of weird that way, T-Bob. I don't really like playing my old friends and beating them. I root for them so much, and I want to see them have success. I don't really gain that much enjoyment out of winning the games. It's definitely better than losing the games. Now, let me make that clear. But I just root for him so much, and I think he's doing a great job. But you're glad you won the game. Your loyalty is to the players and staff, in your school. But when it's over, you just feel kind of bad for them because you know how they feel. But, I'm glad we played well, and we didn't play great. We pitched great. Yeah. We played good defense, and we had a few guys that stepped up. Trey Morgan had a super game again, and Cade Beloso got a big hit for us. We struck out 14 times offensively, which was not good. So our guys were having a lot of trouble seeing the ball last night. There was a lot of weird lighting behind the outfield fence, and I think our guys were really having a tough time adjusting to it. So, not to make too many excuses for them, but being that we don't play there very frequently, I just think they had a tough time adjusting to it. I think it was a little bit of an aberration that we struck out as much as we did, and hopefully we'll be better this weekend. But I'm glad we got out of there with the win and get ready for a good hitting team that we're playing this weekend.
Yeah, Coach, so you mentioned Trey Morgan, a cat that went to high school in New Orleans. I love him going back to the city, having a great game. Will Helmers, another one that went to high school in New Orleans, really showing out last night. But let's start here. You mentioned the defense. I know you've been tinkering, right, as you always do early in the season. And do you feel like you have found that infield setup that you're going to carry forward, at least for the immediate future?
I feel pretty confident about it. I was actually going to make the move with Doty a week ago. He didn't know that. I was going to tell him after the second game of the doubleheader last Saturday. We actually had already planned the staff to work him out on Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. He had hit the game-winning home run in Game 1 against Youngstown State, and then in Game 2 against Nichols, when Drew Bianco hit a home run, Doty was in the dugout, and he just kind of raised his arms kind of in celebration, and somebody accidentally bumped into him from behind and and dislocated his shoulder. He did one of those sublex dislocations where it popped out and popped back in. So it was really sore, and he, of course, missed a week. So that kind of put that plan to move him to third base on hold. And then when he was ready to come back, we had just lost that game to Oral Roberts on Sunday. I felt like had he played, it would have made a big difference in the game. Of course, not take anything away from Oral Roberts, but I just feel like, when your three-hole hitter would have found a way to get you another run or two in the ball game. But I just felt after just analyzing the whole situation, I just felt like the need was definitely there to move Cade over to third base, put Thompson at shortstop. I felt that Zach Arnold, that was the best position for him given his skill set. And, of course, anytime you have Trey Morgan at first base, that solidifies your infield. And I just think this is going to be the best combination going forward. Is it perfect? No. Each of them, have their limitations in some ways, but they also have their strengths. And I think that, we'll be patient with this group, and I think it'll be the best combination for us going forward.
All right, Coach, I've got my LSU baseball number 18 jersey on today, and I know you don't know this about our studio, but it's like 60 degrees every day in here, but I sacrificed being warm so I could shout out Trey Morgan because I think what he's doing this year has been fantastic. When you look at his stats, he's batting .423. He's got more walks than strikeouts. He has as many stolen bases, Coach, as he has strikeouts, both 6 on the season, 17 RBIs. We know what he can do defensively. I mean, could you expect what he's doing this fast and to be the player that he is this fast in his young career?
Hey, Jacob, we might be changing that number 18 to baseball now after this pitch.
I'm with that, Coach.
We might have to add a number 1 to the 8 that is so famous in baseball. This kid, when he leaves here, might be one of the most prolific players we've had. He reminds me a lot of Antoine Duplantis as a hitter. He uses the whole field. There's really no weakness. There's no way to get him out. He stands right on top of the plate. He's fearless. You didn't notice in the stat sheet, he also leads the team in hit by pitches.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I did
he
not
got
know
6.
that.
He has as many hit by pitches as he has strikeouts, Coach.
Yeah. I mean, he's tough as nails. Okay, he can't. How many strikeouts does he have? He probably can't have 5 or 6.
He only has 6. He has more walks and strikeouts. Yeah. He has 6 stolen bases, only 6 strikeouts, 6 hit by pitch, and only. Yeah. I mean, it's amazing.
There's no weakness. I guess if there's a weakness, he hasn't demonstrated great power yet. Although I've seen it in practice. And I think as his body fills out and he becomes more knowledgeable, the power is going to come. The great players, the power is always the last thing to come. Mm-hmm. You can't teach a guy to be a great opposite field hitter.
Right.
And right now, Trey Morgan is a great opposite field hitter. That's something that has to come naturally. He fouls off pitches that get most hitters out. And then allows him to stay in the at bat for another pitch, and then sure enough, the pitcher will make a mistake, and boom, he'll get a base hit. But he hits in the clutch. How many RBIs does he have? He has to be leading our team in RBIs.
Yeah, 17.
Yeah, he's leading the team, and then now I think he just took the lead from Dylan Cruz in batting average as well.
Yep.
Yeah, and he he's got doubles, he's got triples. Power doesn't always just display in home runs. Extra base power, hitting the ball in the gaps and being able to run and get triples. And this guy is really an outstanding base runner. He has tremendous instincts. He got to second base yesterday, and he gave me a sign that said, "I really want to steal." Now, how many freshmen are that fearless? and they're giving a sign to the coach saying, "I can get a jump on this guy." So I gave it back to him and said, "Okay." And sure enough, there he goes, and he steals third base. Just by comparison, we have some veterans on the team. Like during timeouts, I'll say, "Can you get a jump on this guy?" And he'll say, "I don't know. I don't feel real comfortable about it." Hey, it's a freshman kid that's fearless.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So he makes obviously the plays. The last play of the game, Garrett Edwards on the fielding of the swinging bunt threw the ball wide. Have you ever seen a first baseman go into foul territory with his footwork like he does and catches balls sliding his foot across the base? I just hope he doesn't get killed one day on one of those collisions with the base runner. But what ball player he is! I'm telling you, he's a complete package.
Yeah, I love how you said it this interview and the other day, where when Trey Morgan's on first base, everything looks good. That's definitely true, Coach. How about the response that you saw out of your team? Because obviously everybody was disappointed by the Oral Roberts weekend and how it ends up playing out, and then they come back. No, woe is me, no wallowing, none of that, and then come back and take care of business in 2 midweek games this week.
Yeah, well, baseball is just so much. I mean, people don't understand a lot because everybody's in the football mentality in Baton Rouge. You got to win every game, and baseball is just not like that. I've been doing it for my whole life, and it's disappointing as hell when you lose a game, especially when you feel like you could have won the game. But you look at that game on Sunday, okay? I knew it was going to be a low-scoring game. The wind's galing in, and it helped A.J. Labus too. Let's call it right. AJ's a strike thrower. He's going to give up some balls that are hit. So when you see the wind blowing in, you're not all that disappointed from the standpoint of your own pitcher's fortune. But it's also going to be hard to score a lot of runs. And so, we get held to 1 run, and when it's a 1-0 game, one bad pitch, one really good at bat by them, one bad play by us, one bad umpire's call, a bad hop, bad luck, can all of a sudden turn the game around. So Labus pitches great. Fontenot gets through his inning. I bring in Helmers in the 8th inning. He gets the first 2 batters out. Guy gets a ground ball single up the middle. Okay, no damage, right? We're playing the outfielders as deep as we can play them to prevent a double from happening so the runner can't score from first base. And Will throws a changeup to their one guy that's got some power, and the ball tails back over the middle of the plate. It should be on the outside corner. It tails back over the middle of the plate, and the guy gets the bat head out and hooks the ball right into the one spot you can't cover, the right field corner. And the kid scores from first base. And the throw is wide of the bag, wide of home plate, and it's so wide the catcher can't get to it. And Helmers is late backing up, and so he's not in position to be still. So when the ball hits off his chest, it kicks to the left. Now Will's just a young player, so the runner's going to third. I just want Will to hold the ball because now even if the runner's at second or third, it doesn't matter because there's 2 outs. It's going to take a base hit to score him. But Will's trying to make a play, and he throws the ball into left field. If he just holds the ball and he gets the next guy to fly out to center field, we go to the 9th inning or bottom of the 8th inning and a tie game. So he learns from that mistake, and but even still, we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, put in a pinch hitter, Mitchell Sanford, runner at third base, and he absolutely scalds the ball. And this shortstop makes the play of his life. I think the ball's past him, and he dives horizontally to the ground, somehow comes up with the ball, throws it not so great, and the first baseman makes the pick of his life at first base. I'd like to tell you it's the first time in my career I've seen these things happen. Unfortunately, it's not. And, teams, all of a sudden they start making these kinds of plays, and next thing you know, you lose the tight ball game. So disappointing as hell, but it happens all the time in baseball. And the one thing that's great about baseball is you don't have to wait a whole week to play again. So you just got to be able to control your emotions, put it behind you. As disappointing as it is, I'm glad we had a game on Tuesday. We got right back out there, which allowed our players to just flush it from their memory and move forward. We can't do anything about it. I wish we could go back and replay it, but we can't. So it's over with. We got to keep looking forward.
Wow, Coach, I really, really love that breakdown.
Yeah,
I mean, that just gives you an idea of all the different little pieces, the variables, and just a small peek into what actually goes through the head coach's minds as these things are playing out, instead of me just like yelling at the TV, like, talking to LSU head baseball coach Paul Maneri. All right, Coach, I know you have to go, so last one here. You mentioned UTSA being good at the plate. What kind of challenge do they represent this weekend?
Yeah, I don't know that much about them, except I keep seeing their scores, and they seem to score double digits in every game. So I think they're going to. I did look at their stats yesterday. They were hitting like 340 as a team. So they are going to probably be the best hitting team we have faced so far this year, which is not a bad thing for us to have to be challenged with right before SEC play. I think it's going to be good for us. Baylor had to cancel out. I was doing Baylor a favor, really. Baylor had 2 series canceled on them, so their coach called me and he said, is there any way we could just jump into the series with you guys? So we had sacrificed our Saturday game with UTSA. They were going to come over. Baylor was going to come over, play UTSA in the afternoon, play us at night. At least we were just doing it to help Baylor out. If I'd have known Baylor was open, I would have preferred to play them a 3-game series, but we didn't know they were going to be open at the time. We were scrambling because Illinois had canceled on us, and we found UTSA was open, so we scheduled them. Well, anyway, Baylor was able to get somebody scheduled late on. Somebody had a series canceled late on them, so they were able to schedule Xavier University for a home series. So they pulled out. So now we're back to a regular 3-game series, and I'm actually kind of glad, T-Bob, because last weekend was going to be our only 3-game series against the same opponent. I don't think we handled it particularly well. I'm glad we have another series to be able to do that prior to SEC play. So, it's a good chance for us to kind of get back on the horse, understand how a 3-game series works. Hopefully we'll do better this weekend as we prepare for Mississippi State next weekend.
Head man, Coach Paul Maneri, LSU baseball, an exciting team right now, man. Young, making plays. Coach, thank you so much.
Okay, guys. Good to be with y'all.
Yes, sir. Coach. Always. And that is sliding into the series. We have now officially slid in, thanks to Small Sliders. Coming up next. What did we want to get to next? We could revisit the sound. You want to revisit some of the Coach's Caravan sound?
I'd actually love to.
Okay, let's do it next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. I got a Toyota Sienna, Toyota Camry, and I love them. Look, really, the minivan, dude, if you have multiple kids and you've been toying with it, you're like, I need more room in the car, I need more storage in the car, the Sienna has everything. Okay, interesting musical shift there, Moose. Go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Don't forget, they've got a large selection of pre-owned as well. I told you the first time I went out there, I was amazed by how big everything was. And they've got it sectioned off. If you're looking for a new vehicle, pre-owned vehicle, service department is fantastic as well. You're not going to be waiting around all day in this service department. They're going to have you in and out. I was there like 10 minutes, and they were going like 8 people deep.
And how about they will actually shuttle you home, and then you can call them to pick you back up as well for free. Go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com today.
Our listeners fire off their opinions on the JimsFirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the JimsFirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All Star Toyota today.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
Jolie Pearl has the best oysters in Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 7.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR presented by Pluckers. We'll recap LSU, Texas Southern in baseball, get you ready for the Tigers' trip to UNO. It's a Whiskey Wednesday with Taylor Calandro. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What up, y'all? Welcome back. Off the Bench. T-Bob, Jake Musso, Danny hanging out with you. Speaking of miss, shout out to Matthew Musso nailing the Trey Morgan, Antoine Duplantis comparison. He said it on his daily LSU podcast a couple of weeks ago after the Youngstown State series, and then he said it yesterday on the program as well. And then Coach Maneri, it's not like Coach Maneri's ever said this before. Who did Coach Maneri compare Trey Morgan to today? Antoine Duplantis. Nice job, Moose.
Blind squirrel, but thank you. Blind squirrel, though.
And I think there was a couple of people like in the chat that were like, "Oh, Duplantis, really?" It's like,
yeah,
Moose
Champ
had it.
Blind squirrel.
Look, Champ's my favorite troll for sure. But yeah, he was calling into question Musso's take yesterday, and it was spot on. Listen to Matthew Musso's Musso at the Box podcast, 1045ESPN.com. It's every day for you LSU baseball fans. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into last night. Me and Jake at the Coaches Caravan got to talk to all of these coaches. We got a ton of great sound to play. We're going to start with the head man, Coach Ogeron. I want to start here. It's going to be nombre cinco. Not nombre, numero cinco. As I wanted to ask about Miles Brennan. I know sometimes when you ask these questions, sometimes the coaches want to keep it a little more, like, they don't always want to get into individuals. But I think that with what we've seen, Jake, coming out in fourth quarter, like, Miles seems to be putting a very impressive foot forward, right? And so I wanted to get on the record. Yeah. Here is what Coach O had to say about Miles Brennan going into spring.
He's healthy. He's leading the pack. He's been the team leader, especially on offense. We vote after each practice who's elite in the workouts. He's been elite at least 3 of the 4 workouts that we've been in. Been phenomenal.
So not a long bite, but a dense one, right? In terms of everything he said there, talking about him being the team leader. What about this voting? Like, who's elite after the workouts? That's kind of does he mean the team voting, or do you think he's talking about coaches in the meeting rooms breaking down the fourth quarter performance?
I don't know. It sounded like almost it was everybody.
That's what I was kind of thinking as well. I'm not 100% sure on that, but either way, it seems like Brennan is, and it makes sense. Something clicks when you become an upperclassman where you're no longer intimidated. Yeah. You no longer are like just trying to get by or just trying to make it or survive. Like, no, you're confident. It's my time. It's my turn. I think that's where Miles Brennan is existing right now.
And it might even be where the players have a vote, because as we've talked to Coach O over the last couple of weeks, he wants them to hold each other accountable. He wants them to challenge each other. There's so many positions that are going to be open on this team, even if you were a starter the year before. Because when you have over 30-plus starters, well, guess what? There can only be 22 starters. So somebody's going to lose out on a job, right?
Yeah.
So there's going to be challenges. There's going to be competition. And so I love the fact, man, they're transparent. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do, like, it's going to be on the board. Like, you're not in the elite group. Why are you not in the elite group?
Yeah.
Why are you at the bottom? Explain to your peers why you're not at the top. So I love stuff like that. I think it challenges players. It's not calling players out just to do it. Like, it's with a purpose, which, as you know, T-Bob, like, the last person you want to disappoint is the guy that plays next to you.
Yeah.
Like, it's the last thing that you want to do. You don't want to have, if you were the center, right, and the 2 guards next to you, they were elite in the fourth quarter program, but you weren't on that list, you would be embarrassed by it. It would raise your level where you would want to be elite, and you would change the way you did things. So I'm all for stuff like that.
It's why those white shirts matter so much. And remember, we talked about the detail in fourth quarter. You get the white shirt if you do everything correctly for the day. If you make one mistake, you end up in a gray shirt.
And they take it from you.
It's very military. It's very ancient when you all line up out there and you have the guy standing out in the white and then everybody else in the gray. It's definitely extra motivation. How did Coach O feel? Because they've now wrapped up fourth quarter. We're a few days away from spring. How did Coach O feel like the fourth quarter program went?
They're battle tested. You know, one of the things that T-Bob and I was talking about this fourth quarter that we didn't work out in position groups.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
We mixed the team. I wanted the team to fight for each other. We've been promoting leadership. We've been promoting team. And guys, running backs are working with linebackers, offensive linemen are working with DBs, and they're learning each other. They learn how to fight each other.
One of the things I love about that, and you heard me say it in that clip, is because – look, the running backs know the running backs. The receivers know the receivers. Like, they know what to expect. They know what, kind of worker the guy is. But for me, so when I was at LSU, I had 2 defensive roommates, Craig Stelton and Luke Sanders. And I learned so much from living with them, like, about defense. Like, we would pick each other's brains. Like, hey, what are you thinking in this situation? And they would ask me the same situation about the running back position. And I learned so much because of that interaction. And it seems like such a small detail, but when you're out there together, you're in this group together, and you're having to battle with each other, you learn something about that person, and you might can take that to the playing field. Like, who knows? And so it's a little bit outside the box, because you're always like, quarterbacks here, running backs here, receivers there. But when you switch everybody up, you've got an offensive lineman next to a cornerback. Now, like, they have a relationship maybe that they didn't have before because they have a common goal in the same group. So that's something that is a little bit unique, because I know we didn't do it that way.
No, and it's like, and it can become a bit cliquey because you just hang out with your position group. O-linemen hang out with O-linemen a lot of time, D-line with D-line, and et cetera, et cetera. And so, I mean, you just mentioned it. The person you don't want to disappoint is your teammate, your brother. And this helps to strengthen those bonds, I think, even more. Something else that we've talked about a lot this offseason has been this idea with these new hires that these guys are going to be hungry because you're giving them their opportunity. Here's what Coach O had to say on kind of the attitude of these new assistants.
Well, it's all starting now, and I'm kind of stoking the fire myself a little bit, man. I like the competition in between coaches. You got to start with our coordinators. The two bright young coordinators, but they haven't been a coordinator yet.
Right. Yeah.
So they're hungry.
Yeah. Yes.
And this is their shot, man. They're at LSU. They want to do good. I see them at work early. I see them at work late. Attention to the details. And both of them are doing a phenomenal job. And that trickles up down to the new assistants. Think about this. You have 5 new assistants that came to LSU to prove themselves.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're hungry. They're ready to go.
Well, and it's what a far cry from the hires of last year, right? Where Linehan, and not saying, the offense was good last year, but like Linehan, you're talking about a former NFL head coach. What did this mean to him? It was a good paycheck. He likes football. He wants to try to win. Kind of the same deal with Bo Pelini. What do you mean him? You had to drag him out of Youngstown and pay him all that money. That is not the case with Peets and Jones. If it doesn't work out, you can guarantee it will not be for lack of trying. Like they're all in. Last one here, I think, until we go to break. Here, go to Ogeron 8 here, Musso. This little story about some of the competition that they were trying to infuse into that fourth quarter program.
We brought these guys back, okay, at the end of fourth quarter, and I brought them into one ring. And I said, okay, give me your top defensive lineman, give me your top offensive lineman, and I made them battle against each other.
Damn.
Give me your top offensive wide receiver, top DB. Derek Davis stood up against one of our top DBs, wide receivers, and won as a true freshman, Jacob.
Derek Davis got a couple mentions unbidden last night, man.
We didn't ask about him.
No,
but his name popped up
a couple times. There little hype starting to build around Derek Davis
in a position that needs a little hype.
Yeah, and I was even talking to Brody last night, Brody Miller, and asking him some of the topics that he'd be potentially interested in hearing about. And one of the guys he talked about was Derek Davis. So there's a little smoke there. I'll be interested to see what kind of moves he can make during spring. All right, let's go to break. When we get back, we will close out hour number 2 and get ready for hour 3 here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Bayou Ford is open for business, and we want to earn your business. Stop in and see our selection of the latest Ford cars and trucks, as well as a variety of quality pre-owned vehicles, with prices starting as low as $5,000. Bayou Ford will get you the transparent information you're looking for, and when you're ready to purchase your new vehicle, provide the professional service you deserve. Located off I-10 on Belterre Boulevard in LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service. HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At front to back, they got not one, but 2 NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to Front to Back Boat Service.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Cool on that.
The moment you realize something is truly luxury is the moment you put it to use. Purchase or lease a new Infiniti QX80 online today with Infiniti Now.
Visit Infiniti of Baton Rouge at 13540 Airline Highway or online at InfinityBR.com.
Have you been issued a ticket for texting, speeding, or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown.
Join us for a Thursday edition of Jimmy Yacht's Game Time, live from Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar as Charles Hannegriff is in the co-host. Tune in at 6 p.m. as we talk some more March Madness and get ready for the sports weekend. Game Time on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
All right, welcome back to OTB. I'm bringing us back because T-Bob just had an awful take, and I'm holding his microphone. Nope, until I get this out.
One of the worst of all time.
He just said that Will Smith was a better rapper than Eminem.
That is. No, stop.
Like currently.
See,
here's your mic.
I could say an Eminem line right now about Will Smith
Yeah.
in his rap.
He don't
but
got
I'm not.
he doesn't got curse sell records. Well, I do. So F you and F him too or whatever. Get out of here, dude. Get out of here.
Will Smith. Getting jiggy with it?
No.
Oh my gosh, that's an awful take.
It's
Miami's.
oh yeah,
Miami,
we're going to Miami. Mio Ami Ami.
It's just not.
Parents
It's
just
just
don't
not
Wild
understand.
Wild West.
Yeah,
going
hell
with
yeah.
that one.
Great movie.
Why?
If you look at money
That's so bad.
per rap hours invested,
Get out of here.
Will Smith is more successful than Eminem. I don't know what to tell you. I mean,
Okay, like money and music. That's what we're going off of now.
I'm just a coldly analytical being. It's why I identify with the YouTube algorithm so much. Is
that
we both are just defined by numbers. Look, real talk.
You could have just left your take as I don't like Eminem music, but
Yeah.
you had to honestly sit there and say with a straight face,
Yes,
that you think Will Smith,
yes,
is a better rapper than Marshall Mathers.
I've had this argument since college.
I bet
with
you
my
like
friends.
Jason Derulo too, don't you?
He has great abs.
Exactly.
I don't know much about his music, but I saw a poster with him one time.
He'll say his name in a song if you give him 30 seconds.
So will
Jason
Eminem.
Derulo.
Guess who's back? It's kind of the entire point of the song. I'll say this about, look, obviously, the Will Smith Eminem thing, that is when I am starting to tip into troll territory, and I do love the reaction that gets out of people. But I legitimately don't like Eminem's music. I think he's incredibly talented. I have no problem saying he's the best lyricist of all time with what he writes and how he combines words. I don't really like any of his music. I did as a kid a little bit. I liked, Guess Who's Back and some of that, but
I don't know.
just never did it for me, dude.
We haven't disagreed on anything since we've known each other, which goes
Yeah.
back like 15 years. We're going to disagree on this one because yesterday you came into the show, you were listening to Lock Myself in a Closet, sad music.
Yeah, Ben Folds Live.
And
it's a
then
great
now,
album.
like, this is your take with Eminem. I'm starting to question
Look,
some of the
make
things
no
that you
mistake.
look for in your music.
I have an
catalog.
eclectic music taste. It does not make a lot of sense. I will not argue that point. Yeah, I mean, I can't argue that, but I just, I like whatever. I listen to a lot of movie soundtracks. I listen to a lot of other bit of odd stuff. But like when I listen to rap, I just never, ever, ever, ever have ever found myself reaching for Eminem. I would take these
Not saying he's the
modern
greatest
day
of all time by any means.
I would
but
take
still,
these modern day,
he's very good.
arguably like non-talented mumble rappers over Eminem.
Oh,
Did he? Where did he hurt you?
golly.
What did he do to you?
My
Was he in St.
heavens.
Louis sometime when you were at the Rams or something? He had concert. He slapped you or something.
He enunciates too much. I mean, to be frank,
Oh
it's
my gosh.
so sharp and whiny sounding.
Whiny.
He whines constantly, and he's been through a lot. So,
Speaking of real quick, rappers, I need to hear something from Andre 3000 soon. It's been too long.
I used to love Outkast.
Okay, if you say something bad about Outkast, okay. Whew.
I love him. Used to listen to Speaker Box all the time in high school.
Yeah.
For a
The
little
deep
while.
cut Outkast, like before that's even
Come
better.
on and slip me to Santa Claus. I mean, I'll take that over Eminem any day.
That was not Outcast.
Hour 2, I know. I said
wasn't.
Lil White. I said
It
I love
wasn't.
Lil White. Check the tape.
Off
Hour
the
3.
bench with Hester and T-Buck.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
Jolie Pearl has the best oysters in Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Is brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. on Thursday, March the 11th. Today in Baton Rouge, expect cloudy skies with a high of 82. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch that up at the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com, brought to you by Carriages. Coming up today on OTBOT, Rachel Barbeau joins the show at 9:30. Follow on Twitter at OTB_ESPN and on Instagram at OTB_ESPN. Watch live at the 1045 ESPN YouTube channel. Interact inside the Bayou Ford chat. OTBOT starts right now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome in, OTBOT. T-Bob Hebert and Jacob Hester are hanging out with you today. I got Rachel Barbeau coming up at 9:30. That's going to be great. Rachel, of course, runs Changing the Narrative, which has been trying to educate males and females on college campuses for years now about how to treat each other. She's been with this LSU team for the last few years, so who better to talk to about what was revealed in that Hush Blackwell report and where you go from here. And she actually just spoke with the team as well here recently, I believe. I am getting some flack for my M&M takes. The only person that agrees with me is Emil, so you know I'm in some hipster kind of territory here. It is 3/11 day as well, March 11th. So, Musso, I guess you didn't know who 3/11 was last year or something? But would you find it a bit surprising because you have extensive musical knowledge.
So, here's the deal. I knew some of their songs. I didn't know who sang it. It was one of those things.
I got those
but
littered throughout my brain.
You give the afternoon guy an inch, he's going to take a mile and run with it and make a bit out of it. So I had to hear it for a whole show, and apparently they even brought it up yesterday. I don't know. I wasn't here. I wasn't listening. I just got a text message, so I'm not sure.
If you give him an inch, will he take 8 miles?
Okay. You know what? Look.
Yeah.
You don't get to make that joke because you think Eminem's bad.
I think 8 Mile's a good movie, though.
But it doesn't matter. You don't get to make that joke.
It's really sad when Rabbit shoots himself. Doesn't he? Isn't that how it goes down? Does he get shot? I don't really remember the movie, to be honest. Cheddar Bob. There we go.
Himself.
Yeah. Oh, he's Rabbit. B-Rabbit is Eminem.
Yeah.
Cool rap name. My favorite rapper.
Would you like a dollar sign in there somewhere?
Is Lil Uzi Vert, because he put a $24 million diamond in his head. That's a flex.
Is it the Hope Diamond?
It is not the Hope Diamond.
Big conversation yesterday.
I'm going to look this up online, and I probably should have looked it up before I say anything out loud. I think the Hope Diamond is a piece. Okay, wait, sorry. No, I think there was no. So we tracked it back. Right? The Hope Diamond is the blue diamond that was originally on King Louis's Golden Fleece back in the 1600s.
Yes, in India.
I think that there was a piece of the Hope Diamond that sunk with the Atlantic or with the Titanic.
There's no mention anywhere.
I'm gonna look it up. And we'll see. We'll see what the internet says. Maybe I made this all up in my brain, but we'll see what this says. But yes, not a blue diamond, but a pink diamond. Lil Uzi Vert straight up put in his head, and he looks awesome, and he looks like Vision. And then if you look at the memes coming out of Vision,
looking like Marvel characters, that's what keeps them in the streets.
That is literally what I want out of my rappers. I mean, if we're just talking about me personally, we're discussing my taste. Like, hell yeah, that's what I want, dude.
Better watch it, Jake. Gen Z is going to come for you.
I mean, tell me that dude right there can't now telepathically control things with his brain.
He can't.
I guarantee
absolutely cannot.
If I was to tell Lil Uzi Vision to close the door without touching it, he could easily do it. I wouldn't be surprised if Lil Uzi Vision just started flying. Just out of nowhere during a concert, just started to levitate. I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. He has a diamond in his
wires,
head.
T-Bob. He's not actually flying.
Yeah, but it would look cool because he's a diamond in his head. The ultimate flex. What a good sign for the future of our society, for sure. Whatever, you roll your eyes. But that's what everybody said about Eminem back in the day, as he was talking about 9-inch nails, and kids and listen to me. That's how Eminem sounds in my brain. Thank you, Danny. Thank you. See, you know in your hearts. You're sitting here and you're on their team, but you know in your hearts what Eminem actually sounds like.
You're not like, you have to do your research though. You can't listen to the songs that only come on the radio.
I just fire off from the hip.
No, but I'm saying you can't only talk about the song. Can you do that again real quick? The songs that come on the radio, like you've got to go to the album and you got to listen to the ones that there's no way in the world they could make them radio friendly.
So the funny part about that is I hate those Eminem songs even more.
Okay,
like when I've listened to entire albums is when I really cemented this take that I'm not into.
Just move on.
I did like
Tier list
Stan.
idea?
I liked Stan because it had Dido in it. Please don't
Tier
go
list?
wondering
Rappers?
why.
Best rappers of all time?
Oh, that could be good.
Oh, my God,
Or do we
okay.
like, go to rappers' catalogs, like their best songs?
I'll add it to the. We'll add it to the.
Champ already beat me to it. He said it. I think it was Champ. Let me see.
Add it to the tier list master document. All right, so it's probably enough Eminem talk. I don't know how much more trash I can talk to make my feelings more clearly known. Let's get back to a little bit of the sound, and then maybe we'll revisit. Actually, before we do that, because there's something we haven't discussed yet, and that is real quick here. Let's talk about the SEC basketball tournament a bit, because LSU obviously going to be in action tomorrow night. They will play the winner of Ole Miss, South Carolina. LSU is just a fascinating team entering this tournament, given the fact that they're Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, right? Like, you just don't know what team you're going to get. You expect consistency out of Alabama. You expect consistency out of Arkansas. Do you expect consistency out of any other team outside of those two, though?
No, but there's the opportunity with, I would say, Tennessee, Missouri, LSU, and even Ole Miss. I would throw those teams that have the potential to make a run in the SEC tournament. Like Arkansas and Florida, throw Florida in there as well. So there's a lot of teams that are good basketball teams that are right there in the middle of the pack of the SEC. That's why they're going to get 6, potentially 7, depending on what Ole Miss does in Nashville in the NCAA tournament. The run Arkansas has been on, though, is so impressive. And remember, this is a young basketball team that has not played a lot of minutes together, and that's why it took them a little bit to get going. I mean, Moses Moody is a star. I mean, he is a freshman that just won Freshman of the Year in the SEC. And anytime your best player is a freshman, sometimes it takes you a little bit to get going. And this COVID year where they didn't have that opportunity to grow in the fall, being on campus together, it took them a little bit to get going. But now they've got it figured out. And they're not the favorite to win it because of what Alabama did. But if they won this tournament, nobody would be shocked. And I expect them to make a run in the NCAA tournament. But when you start talking about the other teams, those other 5 teams that I mentioned out there, like if they won, would you be surprised? If those teams made a run, if LSU made a run and won the SEC tournament, it would not be a complete shock. They have the Jimmies and Joes to do it.
No, yeah, they definitely have the talent. I mean, if anything, that's the only mark against LSU is like they're hard to judge because on one hand, they've actually been like objectively pretty damn good, and they finished as a 3 seed, and like we said, the winningest team in the SEC over the last 3 years. But I think the talent that they have, or at least we perceive them to have, maybe had our expectations inflated even above that high bar of success. So there's an odd sentiment around LSU where I don't know that the feelings about the team maybe match the actual success level that they have. You mentioned the inconsistency of Arkansas because their best player is a freshman, and it took them a little while to get going, or maybe not the slow start of Arkansas. Does the fact that Cam Thomas is LSU's kind of core engine of production, does his age help to explain some of LSU's own inconsistency?
I don't think so. I don't think so because you've got a junior in Javonte Smart. You've got a junior in Darius Days. You've got Trendon Wofford, who is now a sophomore and played, he's a starter his entire freshman year. Josh LeBlanc has played a lot in college basketball. So for me, LSU's not in that same boat, and these players have played together, right? And so LSU has been inconsistent maybe because of other factors, not because of their best player being a freshman, which, again, all those teams I just named, they've all kind of had peaks and they've had low valleys as well, like as far as they'll win 3 in a row, win 4 in a row, then they'll lose 3 in a row. They'll lose 3 out of 4, whatever it might be. It doesn't make them a bad basketball team. It just means they have not found what can make them consistent. And no mistake about it, Arkansas is the number 8 team in the country. Like, they have gone on an epic run, like an all-time type of run to finish the season here. I mean, we all remember what LSU did to them in Baton Rouge. I mean, LSU absolutely embarrassed them. And that was a team that just had their struggles at the beginning of the season compared to some of these teams that have had it in the middle. I mean, there was at one time Tennessee was a top 10 team. Missouri was a top 10 team, right? And they fell off in the middle of the season. So everybody's been inconsistent just at different times, but Arkansas has figured it out when it matters the most, which is heading into March.
Who wins South Carolina Ole Miss tonight, do you think?
I think Ole Miss. Ole Miss, Kermit Davis, I think a lot of him as the head coach. They've leaned on their veteran leadership. They've got a couple of seniors that they count on, and Schuler being one of those guys. And South Carolina's going to play tough. They're going to play physical. That's just what Frank Martin teams do. But I think Ole Miss has more talent there. They get the win. The game I'm probably interested in the most is Mississippi State and Kentucky. I said it earlier in the show, and they play, by the way, here in 2 hours, less than 2 hours. Everyone assumes Kentucky was just going to come into Nashville and flip the switch and win the SEC tournament, getting into March Madness. Like, that's not this team. This team's not good.
Yeah.
This team and their super freshmen are average. That's what they are, right? Kentucky, we always just know that they're going to have a badass point guard. It's going to lead them to victory. Well, that guy's playing for the Knicks now, right? Because all their guys leave early. That's just what happens at Kentucky. And sometimes when you replace those type of guys with other freshmen, you just don't hit on them. Like, it didn't translate for whatever reason. Not to say it can't in 2 years or even next year, but it didn't this year. Kentucky's not a good basketball team. They're not going to make a run and win the SEC tournament. That's just not how it's going to be. But that does not mean that the SEC is down. That doesn't mean the SEC is not a good league. They're going to get 6 teams at least in the NCAA tournament. They beat the Big 12 in the SEC Big 12 Challenge, and the Big 12 is a highly regarded basketball conference. Okay, so Kentucky's down. That's fine. SEC is going to get those teams in the NCAA tournament, and it's going to be a fun tournament in Nashville.
So Cortland Jacobs says, I like LSU against anyone save for Bama, and it would make sense, right? Your 2 games against Bama, they spanked you in 2 completely different ways. Have you – because you talk about a lot on your SEC shows, Jake. I'm sure y'all broke those games down even more on your SEC shows. What are guys like Pat Bradley? What is there a path for LSU if they were to eventually meet up with Bama? Is there a path to them beating NATO's squad that we haven't seen yet?
We actually talked a lot about it yesterday, potential matchups that we could see in the SEC tournament, and it's just not a good matchup for LSU, right? There's other matchups. Even Arkansas is a better matchup for LSU. And there's some other teams, like Missouri actually matches up really good with Alabama, but Missouri might not match up, well with other teams. I mean, even LSU. So it's all about the matchup, because Missouri had a blueprint against Alabama. They were going to be more physical because so many teams were so scared of what Alabama could do shooting the basketball, they would allow them to give easy shots. They wouldn't be physical in the paint. They'd only shoot like 6 or 8 free throws in the entire game. So Missouri came back and they said, hell with that. We're going to be physical in the paint, because Alabama either shoots it in the paint or beyond the arc. That's just who they are. That's what their shot chart says. So Missouri put them on the line. Alabama didn't make their free throws. They were 12 of 21 in that game. Missouri wins a low-scoring 63-60 contest. So that was the way that Missouri, because they have the ability to do it, that's how they played Alabama. Not everybody can do that. So it's all about the matchup, and Alabama's just not a going for LSU. But LSU's a team that other teams don't match up with well. So that's what makes this tournament intriguing, is because it really all depends on who you play and who wins the game before to set up those matchups more than maybe any other conference tournament.
Yeah, it could go a lot of different ways. So that's going to be tonight. The final game of the day will be South Carolina Ole Miss. If LSU fans want to watch that, learn who you're going to play. And then tomorrow night, LSU will square up with the winner of that game. Go to centralplumbing.org, 925-8552, centralplumbing.org, for all of your plumbing needs. It's not just residential, though. Look, they've been at it for over 40 years, y'all. So if you got an old house with character or a new house and you have any plumbing problems, just pick up the phone, call Central Plumbing. You get flat rate pricing. Everybody's licensed, bonded, insured. Great warranty coverage. They're the best. Centralplumbing.org, centralplumbing.org, 925-852. Just call them, okay? Then you don't lift a finger. I think Eminem's new hair is horrible.
Oh, God.
Also. I mean, can we at least agree on that? Can we at least agree on his new hair and beard and how it's dyed is horrible? He would look better if he would let this on.
It's not dyed. That's his natural hair color. The bleach blonde was the dye.
That is just for men.
Like, we can make fun of the hat. Hat's bad. We can make fun of the hat for
the
sure.
whole look is bad. But you're going to tell me that that's not an overly just for men beard right there, Moose.
I mean, I'm not sure. I don't know how. I mean, he's not that old. I don't know how gray hair runs in his family, T-Bob.
Exactly.
I don't know his genes.
He should have some modicum of different color in his beard, just even if he's not going gray. They go back to the last picture, Danny. That shows he's definitely doing some just for men, dude. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Go back to the bleach hair, Em. How old is Eminem?
Got to be.
He was born in 72.
72?
In his 50s.
I didn't know he's almost 50. I didn't know.
How about that? Oh, you still think that beard's natural? I don't know, dude. I can lead y'all to water.
Hey, my dad.
I'm just trying to make you drink now.
Listen, my dad uses just for men. He's in his 60s.
Hell yeah,
for his
dude.
beard. I bet you won't call Joey out.
I would never call Joey out. Does he go full jet black? Or does he do a little touch of gray? Because I would do touch of gray.
It's a little jet blacky.
Okay. I mean, dude, look, hey, might have cast stones, right?
By the way, I'm just saying, I mean, people that listened to me before know Joey, ex-Marine, ex-City cop, still bench presses well over 300 pounds
If
every
he
day.
kills me because of this, I feel like that's an overreaction.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's his temper.
I'm going to go on a limb here.
Hey,
if he takes me out
Father,
because of
I know
this.
you listen every day on 11:30 a.m. The Tiger. I'll tell you exactly where T-Bob's at every morning from 7 to 10.
But they don't get this hour.
Actually, remember they actually carried the last two days because they weren't sure which 2 hours we wanted them to carry, and I haven't switched that
We'll
yet.
definitely do first two. Definitely do first two. All right, more OTB when we get back.
OTB OT. In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Have you been issued a ticket for texting, speeding, or other traffic violations? Have you made a mistake? We all have. You're not a bad person. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 225-343-1111 or connect with us online at ocbrown.com.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Cool on that.
The moment you realize something is truly luxury is the moment you put it to use. Purchase or lease a new Infiniti QX80 online today with Infiniti Now.
Visit Infinity of Baton Rouge at 13540 Airline Highway or online at InfinityBR.com.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help. and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service, HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At front to back, they got not one, but two NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to front to back boat service.
At Corvette Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA, you can get a Corolla with 0% financing or buy it for $19,158. That's 0% financing. So come.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR presented by Pluckers. We'll recap LSU Texas Southern in baseball, get you ready for the Tigers' trip to UNO. It's a Whiskey Wednesday with Taylor Calandro. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
I mean, that's just, don't mess with ex-military members. That's, I think, just probably good life lessons there. I play video games. I mean, I play World of Warcraft Classic.
Yep.
For probably like 30 minutes to an hour a day.
And listen to Will Smith while doing it, getting jiggy with it.
Real talk. Somebody did mention J. Cole and Forest Hills Drive, and that is one of the greatest albums of all time.
I like J. Cole.
I would listen to that over any. Now I don't know about J. Cole trying to make the NBA, like he's trying to be doing. I don't know if there's a lot of hope there, even though he is. I mean, he can hoop for sure, but
how do you feel about Cash Money No Limit timeline in rap? Because I thoroughly enjoyed it.
So to be honest, I don't know. Cash Money, that's all like Lil Wayne and Company, right? Or is that Young Money? No, that's Cash Money.
And then,
No,
they merged. Did they not? They ended up merging.
Well, either way, the point is I actually don't know. Like, I know Lil Wayne's famous songs.
That's right. Oh, I forgot. You're from Georgia. Okay,
I listen to a lot of Carter.
I forgot. You're from Georgia.
I listen to a lot of Carter 3. A Millie back in the day was my.
That rap album. That is just
we're talking about
incredible.
You go far back.
Yeah, no. I can't go farther back than that. But I mean, a Millie, I did. That was my favorite Maxine song. When I binged 435, it was listening to that.
That album literally swept the Grammys. Like, it won every single award it was up for.
I did love Damn by Kendrick Lamar a couple of years ago. In college, I listened to Man on the Moon Volume 1 and 2 by Kid Cudi obsessively.
Oh, Kid Cudi.
He just came out with Volume 3, and I don't love it.
Kid Cudi, very underrated, though.
But I haven't loved much of what Cudi's done after Man on the Moon Volume 1 and 2.
Man on the Moon's, like, when you start off with that as your number one, like, everybody knows that, it's always going to be hard to follow that.
Yes, exactly. I mean,
that's why, the great and the greatest, like, they follow up that first one that caught your attention with another one that caught your attention even more.
Well, I mean, and I don't know how these artists do it. I don't know how, when you have so much success early on, how you're supposed to follow that up. I mean, on a way dumber, way smaller, very stupid scale, I don't even know how to make a sequel to Purple and Gold, like how to do something fun like that again. And so, like, I cannot fathom how Kid Cudi's supposed to top
part
Man
of
on the
that
Volume 1 and 2.
was what the LSU Tigers did on the field. Like,
no, I mean, that's what I'm saying. It was a perfect marriage of events, but like I can't even come up with like another fun Friday segment to kind of replace it in that same vein. So yeah, look, if you create something great just once, then that's, even if you never do anything else, like Jaquan, who we were just talking about, everybody in the club getting tipsy, a masterpiece that stands the test of time.
Great pregame banger. Just get ready for the night.
It's a guilty pleasure.
What's the one that they still play in stadiums? Of course, We Ready. That's one that they still play in sets. That's like a one-hit.
The entire Madden 2009 soundtrack, or maybe it was like Madden 07 or 06.
The Petey Pablo song.
The Bone Crusher. What's the old Bone Crusher song?
Around your head, smell like a helicopter.
I did love that song back in the day.
These are some mainstream radio rap songs. We'll probably get made fun of. So let's move on.
So wait. So what are like your deep cuts then?
Let's continue move on.
Also, Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City, or maybe the album was just called Mad City back in the day. I did love that album as well. All right. Season 2 Purple will never happen, like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull last season. Scrub. Yeah, we did make that one episode of season 2 of Purple and Gold. That's like the
this football season.
Yeah, we did. We released one the first week, and then I quickly realized that was not going to play, and so it now lives in the same place that the Star Wars Holiday Special lives. In that you're just trying to erase it from your memories. I was gonna do like an Infinity Stone thing angle with them trying to chase down the stones to make the turnover chain, and I already wasn't in love with it. And then LSU lost to Mississippi State, and I was like, okay, we're out. We're not gonna tarnish the good name of Purple and Gold with season 2.
I have it in my folder. You want to play it?
Thank you, Alex. No.
Okay.
Delete it.
Thank you, Alex.
Don't delete it.
Can't do that.
Thank you, Alex Anderson. Yes, Never Scared by Bone Crusher is what they love to play at sporting events. Still,
remember the name Fort Minor? That's another good sporting event song.
Yeah, my lovely wife is tuning in. Said y'all are so weird.
Isn't Fort Minor part like Lincoln Park?
Not weird. We're just having a great
No,
conversation.
I think Lincoln Park. Who they mesh with or collaborate with to make that song?
Oh no, well, Linkin Park and Jay-Z had that banger of an album.
Yes,
that was great.
Oh,
when they got together.
What was that? Oh, they did the encore.
Yes.
Was
okay,
that.
wait. How about this? Did everybody go to went to like a private religious high school, right? And so you're working out in the weight room.
We all did.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what I'm saying.
Four of
So
us.
what were y'all's workout room bangers? Our O-line coach / strength, like whatever, he loved him some POD. The amount of time I heard youth of the nation in the weight room. Oh my God, dude!
We couldn't have anything with words. It was all like instrumental.
They censored y'all that hard?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Assembly of God school. Yeah.
What? Like I love musical scores. Is it like scores from movies and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rock. Like we get some. Like if it ever had words, like Rocky soundtrack was about as far as we were getting.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. Create your own juice was
there
the
you
theme
go.
There
you go. What about you, Moose? Do you remember any high school?
Bilbo says Fort Minor is one of the guys from Lincoln Park.
Okay, cool. There you go.
Oh,
Makes you know. What about y'all? Do you remember?
Yeah, we throw them on. I don't really remember any. I mean, it was just really what was going back in the day. So I mean,
so y'all didn't have like strict limitations. Like POD stood for payable on death and had a Christian angle. That was the only reason why they were playing it.
They didn't care.
What about you, Danny? How'd they do it over at Brother Martin?
Martin?
Yeah, more like Brother Fartin.
Oh my God.
Good one.
that was so bad.
Dude, that was pretty good, dude. All right, whatever. Go on, Danny. What'd you play?
Suicide Boys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, Brother Martin. I mean, dude, yeah, they get a little freaky up there in the weight room. Danny, I thought you would enjoy this as we go to break for Rachel Barbeau. Did you see there's a cornerback on the Saints that has played for the Saints the last 2 years that is now going straight to play for the NOLA Gold, dude?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
When did the Gold start up?
I want to say 2 weeks from now, the 20th, I think.
If we ever want to make an OTB trip, team trip to a NOLA Gold game, go see the Shrine on Airline. That could be a lot of fun. Shout out my guy Scott Alexander.
It's an amazing atmosphere.
It is.
Yeah.
It's awesome. All right, let's go to break. We'll get to Rachel Barbeau next here on OTBOT.
OTB OT. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Bayou Ford is open for business, and we want to earn your business. Stop in and see our selection of the latest Ford cars and trucks, as well as a variety of quality pre-owned vehicles, with prices starting as low as $5,000. Bayou Ford will get you the transparent information you're looking for, and when you're ready to purchase your new vehicle, provide the professional service you deserve. Located off I-10 on Belterre Boulevard in LaPlace. If you need sales, service, or fleet, the crew at Bayou Ford is going to do right by you.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
Jolie Pearl has the best oysters in Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Auctioner.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your...
Join us for a Thursday edition of Jimmy Yacht's Game Time, live from Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar as Charles Hannah-Griff is in the co-host. Tune in at 6 p.m. as we talk some more March Madness and get ready for the sports weekend. Game Time on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB OT with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB OT, and right now it is my pleasure to be joined by a good friend of both me and Jacob, and a good friend of many young men and women around the country. Of course, I'm talking about Rachel Barbeau. You can follow her on Twitter at Rachel Barbeau. She is the Changing the Narrative founder. She used to do this. Now she's gone into changing the narrative full time as she is working with young men and women around the country, trying to educate them, trying to help everyone grow, learn how to treat one another, and who better to talk to given what has recently been revealed about LSU. First off, Rachel, thank you so much for coming on this morning.
Absolutely, and I'm laughing because your little intro, man, like your intro, your movie theater voice or whatever,
I pretty much am at the same octave as him after speaking 4 times in the last 2 days. Yeah, my voice dropped about 4 octaves. So I think I sound pretty much like him.
Okay, let's start there then, because you have been speaking a lot in the last 2 days, and you've been speaking here in Baton Rouge. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I spoke to all female athletes on Tuesday night, followed by all the male athletes minus basketball, baseball. They had a game, and football, and then right back to back with like a 20-minute break. And then yesterday I spoke to basketball yesterday afternoon before they practiced and they got on a plane, and then I spoke to football last night.
And so you've been the timing of this is very interesting, right? That here you are back, and so people know it's not like LSU just reacted and brought you in. You've been coming down here to Baton Rouge for a few years now, but it's kind of perfect timing because what LSU needs to do now is quite literally change the narrative and change their actions and change how the school has been handling things for years now. What was your reaction when you saw the findings of the Hush Blackwell report?
I mean, it was it's pretty sad. It was it'll make you angry. People failed. People failed people's children. People failed to do their jobs. People failed. People failed. I can't speak about the hierarchy up at the top. I don't have I would say all the knowledge to speak about that, but I can say in a general sense that there was a failure that hurt a lot of people. People were not protected. People did not do the right thing, and that's really sad. And because of that, you've got people that will be forever scarred. And I was with I think she's the deputy AD, Stephanie. She introduced me at every single one of my talks, and I appreciated that. I appreciated that transparency. You wish it would have come beforehand. That it had been there before. But she told the athletes, "Hey, here's the report. 150-something pages long. It's long. I've read it. It's a very hard read. We're sorry. We failed. We will do better." And she said, you have every right to be angry. And I believe she used the term, institutional betrayal. And, that's huge. But I do appreciate, while it wasn't her fault, right? I do appreciate LSU trying to change a narrative from this moment forward. And that's what I told every one of my messages to every team was different. I can't say the same thing to basketball, who's getting on a plane to go play in the SEC tournament, that I'm going to say to football, or that I'm going to say to the rest of the athletes. But every one of the messages were different. But I did say this. I said, listen, you can be angry, and I'm not mad at you for being angry. You can be mad. You can be angry for being lumped in and being demonized. When you're an athlete, you didn't do anything. You can be angry if your roommate got assaulted, or you've been assaulted, or you feel betrayed by this institution. You can be angry, I said, but you also can channel that anger for something positive. And from this moment forward, you can carry yourself in a way, and you can watch people around you and make sure that they're accountable and they carry themselves in such a way that this never happens again on LSU's campus. And we can change the narrative. Now, the upper ranks and the upper people, they have to do their part too, because it rests with them, guys. Yeah. It rests with them. But I even said this too, and I said this to the football team last night, and to all of them, I said, you can be mad about people sitting in, and you can be mad about this and mad about that. I said, but you know what? How real change happens is when you sit down and say to them, "Tell me your story. Tell me why you're here. Tell me why you're protesting. Tell me why you're sitting here. Tell me why this matters to you. Have you been hurt? Why are you passionate about this?" That's where true change happens.
Yeah. And I want to ask you about this, Rachel, because one of the most disturbing parts of the report, like, in a weird way, if it had been just athletics, right, and it was athletics just being covered up, like, in a horrible, cynical way, there's at least an explanation there. But it was school-wide. I mean, it was regular students not being – it was just an overall lack of care, lack of protection for the entire student body. And it's just horrible, and it's inexcusable, and it's kind of inexplicable. And you go all around the country and have these talks and deal with these schools. I guess is is this more common than we want to believe, this sort of lackadaisical or uncaring or nefarious approach to Title IX and abiding by these protections that are supposed to be put in place?
I think it's less than it is. I think, and I've been saying this for a while. I've been saying this, even before I started I'm Changing the Narrative 4.5 years ago. But I said, if you're a coach or an admin or whatever who's got skeletons in your closet, one, or is a closet racist, or you're a bad dude, you better clean up your act, clean up your closet. You better get the skeletons out. You better turn over a new leaf. Because we're in a day and age in athletics right now where players have a lot of power, right? They have the power of social media. They have the power of the transfer portal. They have the power of, I'm not playing for you, you're a racist, or I'm not playing for you, you do this, right? And they can band together. They can sit out of practices. They have more power than they ever have, and more power to them. I'm glad for that.
Yeah.
So, I'm telling you, and I believe that we're getting towards a place where this stuff is being rooted out. Like, it has to be. My God.
Yes.
Why is it even still happening?
Yeah.
Why is it even still happening? And that's it's. And you think about not only these athletes. Think about being a parent of a student here or an athlete, and there's got to be a new day, and that's in my heart. I'm not just an optimist. I'm a realist. I like to believe what's happening here is the dawn of a new day at LSU, not only with the student athletes, but it has to start with the administration and the way things are handled.
Doing the right thing should be the bare minimum, in my opinion. Like, just do the right thing. Like, that should be, like, the first thing you do. It shouldn't even have to be a conversation to be had. Like, you should walk in and do the right thing, treat people the way they're supposed to be treated, know what's right, know what's wrong, and just – not accept what's been going on. So that, to me, is the bare minimum. But when we start talking about athletes, and Rachel, I mean, you know this as well as anyone, the platform that these, young men have to be able to create that change, because they've got the ear of the entire student body, right?
Yep.
Everyone knows who they are when they walk on campus. They can use their platform for real change and not just do the bare minimum.
Absolutely. And that's what I teach them. Like, you just jacked me up. Like, that's what I've chills from head to toe. That's what I teach them. I'm like, you were not born for you. And one of the things I've been using lately is, when you get there, throw the rope back for somebody. When you get there, throw the rope back for somebody. What do I mean by that? I mean, you got a foot on halfway solid ground or solid ground. You're an athlete. You got athletic gifts and talent. You were not born for you. There's a kid back in your neighborhood. There's somebody that needs you. There's somebody that their life would be forever changed or turned around just by a tweet from you or a video from you. Maybe it's your old gloves. Maybe you're back home and you want to do a kids camp. Maybe there's some kid in your neighborhood right now. I remember talking to this kid at Louisiana Lafayette, and he sat down and told me, he was like, came from a neighborhood, Rachel, and it was all gangs, and they were pushing me, and the gang leader was after me, and it's going to make me cry. And he was like, they were stalking my granny's house, and we didn't have much to eat. And he was like, ball was the only thing that got me out of the gangs. The gang leader recognized that I was really, really good at ball, and it doesn't matter what kind of ball he was playing, because I don't want to out him, and he was like, that's the only thing that got me out of gangs, right? And so this gang leader stopped trying to recruit him and stopped, putting this pressure on him, because he had athletic gifts. And I'm like, there are kids right now that need you. Throw the rope back for them. And in the same vein, you can teach other people. This is the other thing I teach them, and this has happened so many times. Kid at Alabama, kid at Texas A&M, even a kid at Texas Tech all said the same thing. They told me the story about being around people that are talking negative about women. And I said, it may seem uncool at first, but just say, hey, I've recently learned I don't let people talk about women like that in my presence. Drop the mic and walk away. And like I said, I've had these 3 guys tell me these separate stories, don't know each other, but they all 3 just said in their own way, I don't talk about women like that, man, and I don't let people do it. What if it were your sister? What if it were your mama? And one of the guys from Texas Tech told me the guy actually looked at him and said, I never thought about it that way. Thank you. Like, that's somebody who's the narrative of their life is changed, y'all, because of this teaching. And you talked about it. It's a bare minimum to do the right thing. But I think the other thing that's crazy, y'all, is sometimes fans, we say, oh, well, he should know right from right and wrong from wrong. He should know how to treat a lady. He should know not to put his hands on her. here's the reality. We don't know what people saw growing up. We don't know if people saw the most dysfunctional relationship growing up. So I don't assume anything. I go in and teach basic relationship skills. I teach people how to pick flowers and how to write cards and how to say to somebody, we talked about it last night with football, if you don't like her, don't say I'll call you. I know it's the easiest thing to say, but don't say it, man.
Yeah.
Just say, it was nice to meet you. Have a nice life, like whatever it may be. But I teach people basic and advanced relationship skills too, because I just don't assume anybody knows anything.
It's incredible perspective from Rachel Barbeau at Rachel Barbeau. If you're interested, changing the narrative is business. And just thank you, Rachel, for all the work that you've done at LSU, obviously through the years, even here this week. And here's to hoping that with concerted effort over time, LSU can make this right. And here's to hoping that the athletes can be one of the key agents in that change.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you, too. I love you guys. Thank you for having me on. And listen, I just want to say this before we jump off. I got testy the other day on Twitter, and I was like, you know what? What is wrong with my counterparts in the media not writing about mental health, about self-care, about until it's too late, or about this movement? Not about me. I don't care about me. It's not about me. What's the matter with y'all? Like, why is it that bleeds that leads? So, because a lot of my colleagues are silent. In saying that, the shoe on the other foot is people like you who will have me on to talk about things like this, to have conversations, to make people think and feel. So, like, my heart is, like, so full for you two. So thank you. When other people are silent and don't want to talk about these things because it may not get clicks or whatever else till something bad happens, thank you two for being proactive.
Well, thank you, Rachel, and we'll definitely talk to you again in the future. You have a great day.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks, Rachel. Follow her on Twitter at Rachel Barber. All right, when we get back, Ask the Bench, brought to you by Coors Light. So stick around here.
Dude,
that was good, huh? That was good.
So bad.
That was perfect.
Coors Light is going to bring you Ask the Bench. No, I don't want you to ever try that again. There's things you do really well. That's not one of them. So we'll have Ask the Bench when we come back. Brought to you by Coors Light.
Okay, there we go.
OTB, OT. We opened up the playbook and expanded our coverage. Listen daily in high definition on 98.1 HD2. We are 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
To the heroes who are working tirelessly to care for our communities, we thank you. We will never forget the countless hours you dedicated on the front lines, choosing to risk your own health to fight for our friends, neighbors, and family members.
I mean, you guys are out on the front lines fighting it.
We are grateful for your heroic acts and unwavering spirit. Together, we are overcoming this adversity and make our state healthier and more vibrant again. Ochsner Health.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Can you feel it? Spring is almost here, and if you got a new boat for Christmas or you just want to take your boat to a new level, you want front-to-back boat service. HD displays, live sonar that show the fish before you cast, trolling motors. At Front to Back, they got not one, but two NMEA certified techs for all of your marine electronic needs. How does a brand new speaker system sound? Well, guess what? They do that too. So call 225-928-9644 or go to Front to Back Boat Service.
50 years ago on Easter Sunday, Breck's Baton Rouge Zoo proudly opened our doors, and we've been hopping ever since. 5 decades of connecting people with animals, teaching our community about the problems facing wildlife and how we can help, and working with zoos across the world to protect endangered species. Today, our future is taking flight by stretching the possibilities of what your zoo can become, while we keep it fun and affordable for everyone. Thanks for coming along.
Starting in 1974, Central Plumbing has served Baton Rouge and surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Through these tough and trying times, we want you to remember that the Payne family is here to continue to support and serve you. As a multi-generational business, there is no job that is too big or too small. Residential, commercial, industrial, hospitality, we're here for anything you need. 24/7, 365. Give us a call, 225-925-8552.
Cool on that.
The moment you realize something is truly luxury is the moment you put it to use. Purchase or lease a new Infiniti QX80 online today with Infiniti Now.
Visit Infiniti of Baton Rouge at 13540 Airline Highway or online at InfinityBR.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona inviting you to join us for Wednesday's Hump Day AFR presented by Pluckers. We'll recap LSU, Texas Southern in baseball, get you ready for the Tigers' trip to UNO. It's a Whiskey Wednesday with Taylor Calandro. Join us 3 to 6. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
All right, welcome back. It is time for
Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cold Coors Light, Busy Hard Seltzer, Blue Moon, Light Sky, Citrus, Wheat, all delicious, all going to be consumed over the next couple of days. Watching a little SEC basketball tournament. But as we know, the Silver Bullet is the one for me. I mean, even drink my coffee out of a literal Silver Bullet Coors Light, made to chill.
Love some Cold Coors Light. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Do y'all have any tattoos? I do not.
I have, yes, a lot. I have a lot of tattoos.
How many?
Probably 9, I think.
Whoa.
9 tattoos.
How many do you have, Danny?
I'm kidding.
Oh, I was going to say, what? Danny, if you have more than 9,
Danny.
they're hidden in some nether regions because I have not seen them.
Some of mine are, are hidden.
Yeah,
You have a nether region? Do you have a booty
can't see
tat?
under someone's clothes.
Do you have a booty tat?
I do not have
A lower back tat?
I do not. No.
Oh, well, yeah.
I do not. But I'm saying, like, right now, like, if in this pose, you can't see any of mine. But obviously, I've got some under the arm there.
Oh, okay.
Got some on the wrist there.
Okay.
So, if, like, don't have the watch on. I got Katie's name on my ring finger,
Okay.
my wife's name, in case I don't have the wedding ring on.
Danny, what about you? You got any tats?
I'm not going to disclose this information because people might be listening that I know.
Whoa. Okay, so that's a yes.
So it's
but
mom,
that's a yes.
so his mom and dad are listening.
Dude. Hashtag Ask the Bench. Who would win in a fight between a grilled cheese sandwich and a taco?
Ooh, tacos versatile.
Well, is it a hard taco or a soft taco?
It's a great point. Do you
if
have
it's
a
a hard
different
taco,
answer?
you just have to break the. Yeah, if it's a hard taco, I'm going grilled cheese. Grilled cheese can just break the shell. And
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
it's like
fair.
kind of
Is
useless.
there anything
then.
worse than
I
like
kind
when
of
you
agree
have
with you,
a
actually.
like you go to eat the hard shell taco and it just breaks and everything at the bottom just falls out?
Is there anything worse than a hard shell taco?
Yeah, hard shell tacos are fake.
Yeah, I mean, hard shell tacos is Taco Bell garbage.
Jacob's
no. I like them both. I actually prefer soft tacos, but like Superior does have some really good hard tacos.
Again.
So
Hashtag Ask the Bench. Why does Musso hate having a successful leadoff hitter?
I do not hate having a successful leadoff hitter. That's false.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. Where was it? Out of the returning O-line and D-line, who doesn't start at the beginning of the season? I think the O-line probably starts, but if there is a job up for grabs, I do feel like right guard would be the one. I just don't know that anybody is going to challenge Chasen Hines there. Like, I don't know if Anthony Bradford or anybody's ready to take that up yet.
So on the defensive line, like Jaquelin Roy, the way he finished last season wasn't a starter. I can see him being a starter by the start of the season. More open competition probably on that defensive line. And as we know, that position group rotates more than any other position group on the field. So you could have 6 starters technically because they play so much.
James Fortenberry, Jake, this one's for you. Ask the bench. Lock of the day from NCAA hoops.
Oh, I'll be real honest. I haven't looked at the slate today, but I'll look at it right now, and I will give you a quick winner.
You hear all? Okay, ask the bench. What's tomorrow's tier list?
That's one's for you.
Ask the bench. Is Wild Wild West the worst adaptation of a TV series in movie history? Wild West is awesome.
I didn't know they made a TV series out of that.
Yeah, the TV series was back way back in the day. So.
Yeah, I think the movie was an adaptation of the TV series. Is what he said.
There's a lot of movies that could go into that category that tried to relive the glory days. I didn't love the A-Team movie. The remake of that. That wasn't great.
Let's say which one. Didn't they remake it like 3 or 4
They're remaking
times?
everything.
Yeah, Hollywood is
21
bereft.
Jump Street wasn't great to me.
Whoa, the movie?
I thought it was a good movie.
Bro, that movie's hilarious.
No, compared to like what the series was to what it was.
You
Not
just
like,
love young Johnny Depp. That's the problem.
Who doesn't? I mean,
caught you watching Nightmare on Elm Street with no pants on the other night. Very confused.
All right, that was weird.
Wow.
Now it makes a lot more sense though, because you just love young JD. That's so good.
I like Toledo -8 against Ball State.
Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cole Kurz Light. Y'all have a great day. See you on Friday tomorrow.
OTB, OT.
Bayou Ford is open for business, and we want to earn your business. Stop in and see our selection of the latest Ford cars and trucks, as well as a variety of quality pre-owned